Set the mood on fire. I did light a candle. I lit a candle. It smells beautiful.
Can we
the leaf scent?
hit some Axe Dark Temptation and let the fire.
I think it's pretty flammable. I think we'll have quite the fire.
I think it could be fun. Turn the cameras.
It's like a blowtorch. Speaking of Dark Temptation, season 2 of the Okayest Hunter Show comes out on September 1st, and episode 2 is set to go live like 15 minutes after episode 1, just because I figure, why make people wait a week to just get that second one. I think we're gonna have 12 episodes. It's all pretty fun stuff.
That's awesome.
It's pretty boring though. Like, we're just in this room giving each other shit, telling weird jokes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a podcast with more like,
but slightly different
stuff.
But us rambling through the woods saying stupid things.
Yeah. And I'll do the thing here. I'll do this thing, get out of the way.
This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, because that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag. You hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
I didn't change the title.
Bill Thompson.
It says we're live with wrong. I do, because we got so distracted with all of the. I can't use Google Chrome. Google. Is it Scott? Scott? I don't
Beer
know.
Goggles?
Figure out how to spell his last name. Is Evans or Evan? Now I don't even know. I think it's with an S. Evans. I'm gonna update the title right now. AKA Botalk. And we're going to say, you know what? You can call into the show tonight. Call into the show. The phone line is 262-757-4122. And you can chit-chat with us. Ask questions. Share stories. Try to make them relevant. If you can. Like, if we're talking about something. And maybe there's a lag, though, too, when we get to actually answering the phone. So, yeah, we're live. This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. We don't know what we're doing. Every week there's a new challenge and problem to overcome. We're late tonight. Not only were we were planning on being later tonight, but I forgot to tell people. And then I misunderstood the time zone for our guests. So then that was off by an hour anyways, which worked out in our favor. Because what were we doing?
We were out in the old swamp, hanging two of Eric's trail cameras. So we got Eric's cameras out before season. You knew where you wanted them. You were just like, hey, you want to come with? So I was like, hey, I'm coming to your house anyway. Let's come a little early. So the neighbor watched the kids, and we took the canoe. It was good.
We did it. We hung 2 cell cams.
2 cell cams?
Already got does on one of them.
Here we go.
So it worked. There's deer on the camera.
Deer!
I'm super stoked about just getting a picture of a deer. It doesn't even need to be a buck. I don't care.
Oh, there'll be bucks.
It's a fucking
deer.
There
will be bucks.
There will be bucks. We'll see. There might be shooters, but our definition of shooters might be different than others. Anyway, so I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. And it's a Tacticam. We have no special dealio with Tacticam other than they seem to like us a little bit. Like, they flirt on social media. I got all these hearts from them on. I don't know. It's like hearts,
Ooh.
On the old IG. And they said they're going to send some Tacticams for Foam Fest, which brings me to my next topic.
Foam Fest
Is 2 weeks away? 3? I don't know.
August 31st.
I mean, it's August 31st. So it's today's date inverted. Today's August 13th. Just flip those, transposition those numbers around, and that's the date. It's the last Saturday of this month, which also happens to be Labor Day weekend. So you get an extra day. So, maybe that means you can make it. I think last week I got a lot of product from brands for the giveaway stuff. Nosler sent ammo packs, and ammunition, ammo and hats. Kafaru sending a couple of packs we're gonna give away. I'm thinking maybe we'll stuff some stuff into the packs. Latitude sending a saddle kit and sticks, like carbon sticks. I'm gonna forget somebody or something here. Riton Optics, who's a partner of ours, they sent some optics. Bear's sending some bows.
Tacticam
is giving. Yes, Tacticam's going to send us stuff.
Spartan Forge is, you didn't hear last week. Anyone who attends, 6 months free. Spartan Forge
sent some really cool swag. Their hats are just very retro and just fucking awesome to wear, period. Like, whether you even know what the hell Rack Hub is or not, it's worth wearing. But if you don't know what it is, it's the thing behind Derek's head. If you're watching, it's a way to mount your antlers. He just shared something really cool on Instagram today. It's like this, like to hang all sorts of antlers off of one pedestal.
like a tree pedestal almost.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. And then you
Very
just
cool.
mount the shit out of them. Like, I feel like if you had that in your house, you could get that, make that, I don't know, but you'd have to buy a whole bunch of the RH rack hub 2s and 1s.
Yeah.
But you could get elk and moose and all in one thing.
My son, I told you when I set mine up, my son helped me, drill into the antler. Like he was into it.
Yeah.
And every time we go in the basement now, he shows everybody, look, and you can just pull them right off. Pulls them out. He's like, check these out. You just slide them right on. He's like giving everybody a demo, like a product demo. He loves it.
Oh, that's funny. Good for him. That's
Yeah.
great. Anyway, and then so I talked about the show, right? September 1st. Gus is on the show, your son.
Oh, on the
He's in one of the episodes.
second season.
Mm-hmm. And my kids are on one of the episodes. It's pretty funny, I think, because they're my kids. So I really know them well.
For those of you who are not familiar with the show, if you didn't watch last season, just keep in mind it's meant to be lighthearted and it's like a spin-off of The Office. It is not a super serious hunting show.
It is not. I was like, the scene in Gladiator where he's running his hands through the tall grass and it's all cinematic? I want the opposite of that. Like, I want good quality footage, but I don't want this overly dramatized. It's fucking deer. They're just deer. Like, I don't need this dramatized scene of putting the face paint on. I'm not going to war. This isn't Sparta.
You don't have your own signature face paint style?
Like,
who the hell are you?
You just see me just fucking the whole season up.
Dude, I would love Jace to get an overly dramatized scene of you with face paint and like going in but not showing what you're doing. They're just like, right, Eric Clark across your face. I think that'd be hilarious.
A big like a big O around my whole face. Okayest. What's with the big circle on it? Do you see people do the beard around their whole head?
Oh, where they like trim it so it looks like it goes all the way around?
Yeah.
Or then they do Fu Manchu down into the chest there?
Oh, I could do that. I could definitely do
We're
that.
going fun places already.
Let's do this. Scott,
I think he could help. Scott?
What's up, dude? Welcome to the show. Why'd you want to do this? I don't know.
I don't know. You invited me. I had nothing to do tonight. Actually, I had a lot of stuff to do, and I thought I was going to have to rush to get it all done until we figured out we're in 2 different time zones. Then I figured out I had a lot of time.
Yeah, that's great. So wait, you only have one T in your name? Is it? I feel like, is it Scot? Or what's the deal with that? Is that how it's?
No, my name is Scott. Now, Scott.
All right. Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Scott.
Yeah. I don't know why you put an accent on it. It's just Scott. I'm not Scottish.
But I just really wanted to use a Scottish accent after last week's episode.
Bill's good.
Who'd y'all have on last week? The guy from the redheaded fella from UFC? What?
Oh, Conor McGregor? No,
yeah, that fella.
He was on a while back. We can't be friends. He tried to punch the computer. Spilled a bunch of beer.
He's not getting a Dell sponsorship.
Yeah, he was like going chest to chest with the deer on the wall. I was like, dude, calm down.
That might have been the Google Chrome problem.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, man. Glad to have you here. We see you on TikTok and now IG a bunch. And I guess take an opportunity here to talk about the archery shop, where it's at, what you do there, how long it's been going on. Let's just give people the lay of the land to set the tone.
Yeah, man. First off, appreciate y'all having me. Been looking forward to this. And the shop's called Feathers and Antlers Outdoors. We're located off I-85 in Commerce, Georgia, Northeast Georgia to be specific.
Can you say the name again? What was it called? Something Feathers?
Feathers and Antlers Outdoors.
Feathers and Antlers Outdoors. All right.
Yep. It's pretty easy to find. We got a website, obviously all social medias. We're not trying to hide. Yeah, like I said, we've been going for 9 years, family owned and operated. Got one full-time employee, couple part-timers. We carry everything but firearms because we're in an outlet center, and apparently Tanger Outlets is not a fan of boomsticks. But if they knew anything about some of the crossbows I'd carry, they probably wouldn't be a fan of them either, honestly.
That's great. No, cool. And you said 9 years. So how old are you? Like, what was 9 years ago? Were you a youngin'?
How old am I? I'll be 32 this August, I think. Yeah, 32.
So, 21, starting at an archery shop.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a good time. 21, I was an idiot.
Yeah, I didn't say I was a smart 21-year-old, but I was a hard-working 21-year-old. There was a lot of mornings I was showing up with ibuprofen and Gatorades to work.
Nowadays, it's liquid IV or Prime, but the youngsters get the idea.
Did you hear Prime's getting sued by the Olympics?
By the Olympics?
What?
Why? No.
Yeah, because evidently they sponsored one of the basketball players in the Olympics, and then old Gooberhead that owns Prime took the Olympic colors and the rings and everything, put it on his drinks, and so it's evidently a big deal, and it ain't looking good for what's that Gooberhead's name? The big YouTuber that keeps faking fights.
Fuck, I don't know.
Paul, Jake
Jake Paul.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's a dipshit. But if Prime drink is good, I don't know. I didn't even realize. I forgot that was him. So then I'll just switch to Liquid IV. It's the same thing, I think.
That's awesome.
Sounds healthier, anyways.
The Olympics said, "Hey, don't go doing that shit. Not with our rings. Find your own rings."
That's right.
No.
So, I guess where I came in contact with you and a lot of folks probably, I mean, sure, the folks that see you in the archery shop, which, by the way, when you do like the walking around videos, dude, the archery shop looks really nice. It's like, what do you guys all carry there? Like, quite a bit, it seems.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as bows, we carry three or four different bow brands, 3 or 4 different arrow brands, multiple broadhead brands, and then we also carry we're actually the majority. A lot of people don't know this. Majority of the shop is taken up by clothing. We sell a lot of Sitka, a lot of Badlands, and a lot of Drake. And of course, tree stands, saddles, fishing equipment for your bass fishermen, stuff like that. I mean, we do have a pretty big bow counter. It's a 60-foot long bow counter. At any point in time, we have 100 plus bows in stock between youth and flagship. I mean, our whole building. Some people say it's funny to get different people's opinions when they see it on social media and they walk in the store. Some people say, "Man, this place is bigger than I thought," or some people say it's not as big as I thought. I mean, I guess it just depends on which videos they see. But it's a 3,500 square foot building. I mean, it's not the biggest of the big, but we keep it very spacious, and we don't like people being cramped, so we make sure it's nice and wide open. So I mean, if 60, 70 people want to walk in, everybody's going to be comfortable.
And what's your role at the shop? What is it that you do other than making them famous?
I handle all the archery stuff. And basically, I kind of keep up with what's trending as far as brands. I love my mother and father to death. Could not do this without either one of them. But they didn't know what a saddle was till last year.
Shit, yeah, he was missing the mark.
And now all they know is it sells a lot. Do what?
Yeah, I was going to say just a little shout out from a snippet you mentioned earlier for your business, just because it's always good to go to your local bow shop just to get hands-on, try the equipment before you buy. So like you had said, you guys have a website, but you mentioned that you were doing arrow builds from guys from other states. So just a little plug, but like, do you do a lot of arrow builds from people out of your area where you're custom building arrows, setting them up and sending them out?
Oh yeah. I'd say 95% of our arrow builds are shipped, which I would like to make a little announcement. As of 2 days ago, I have now shipped at least one arrow build to all 50 states. I finally found my bow hunting Eskimo in Alaska that needed an arrow build. And we shipped it to him the other day. And I was like, finally, all 50, boom, done.
That was not an arrow. That was a harpoon, buddy. But yeah, I get it. You flexed the harpoon. That's a good call.
He's going to get some whale blubber.
You got to do what you got to do to get off.
I don't care what he wanted. I just wanted to say I've shipped arrows to all 50 states. So I'm happy now.
That's badass.
So with your pick of the litter of all these brands, I mean, how many different bow brands do you carry? Because there's a lot of them, and it must be hard to decide if you only have so much room and so many will sell and so forth based on popularity and demand and blah, blah, blah.
So this may blow your mind. We don't carry Matthews. We don't carry Hoyt. We do carry.
You're on the right fucking podcast. Derek.
None taken.
Oh, is he one of them? Okay.
Just put it this way. I was very interested in your lift limb issue video you just put out.
That's what you're shooting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got that.
I just got it last week.
He's falling in love.
Have you shot it more than 10 times?
Yeah, I shot it about 200 times, and so far I've been checking them because I was a little worried. But what I read was mostly 80-pound limbs. I've got 75-pound limbs, and I was just wondering. And maybe you have an opinion on this. I'm sure you do. Maybe we're jumping the gun, but Bo and I were talking 80-pound limbs. Maybe it's guys with longer draws and lighter arrows. There's just a lot of energy. The limb shouldn't do that no matter what. It's a manufacturer issue.
Yeah,
we were kind of trying to figure out what the heck was going on.
I actually do have an opinion on that. I don't think the lift has 85-pound mods. It's only 75, so you got the one with the issues.
80-pound.
Did the lift does the lift come in 80-pound mods? I don't think it does. So,
think it
somebody fact check me quick. Somebody call in and tell me.
I think it does, because I think Bo has
Phone
an
lines
80.
are hot. Phone lines are hot. Okay.
Bo's got an 80-pounder hanging in his basement. At least he thinks it's 80. So maybe it is 75. I don't know.
But no. So actually, a buddy of mine and I were talking about that earlier today. He's a Matthews guru, great friend of mine, and we were talking about it. And he said, Scotty, it's pretty much all within 10 shots. Matthews already knows basically what run of bows, what last 2 or 3 digit serial numbers it was, and of course they're taking care of it. And I don't know if this statistic is correct or not, but supposedly it's like less than 1%, which with as many of those freaking bows are out there, that's not a whole lot to worry about, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you said that in your video. It was very well said. Scott did a video on it. I saw it on Instagram. But it was about the most widely sold bow ever produced, right? I think you said that in the video. Like, there are tons of these bows. They've taken forever to get out there because so many people pre-ordered them, and there's a lot of them. So
Yep, number one sold bow in the world, and also the best-selling bow by Matthews ever in the history of Matthews.
Which is wild, because they've sold a lot of bows.
Crazy.
I know they've sold 1,000 between MF, what's his name, and Lancaster. Each one of those ordered about 500 a pop. I mean, there's 1,000 lifts right there, not including all your other dealers.
So what do you like about the lift, Eric?
What do I like about it?
Yeah.
It has shot better than any other bow that I had the last 2 Matthews ones, just because. So I was never a Matthews guy, and then I got hooked up with Bo and their filming thing, and they get a really, really, really good deal on them. So I was like, I'm going to try one. And the technology is awesome. They're very well engineered, but the last 2 shot well. But this one to me just shoots so much better than the last 2. It's super light. There's absolutely zero vibration. It's super quiet, which doesn't matter that. Like, they keep getting quieter. Like, the deer aren't going to hear you that much. But like, it just feels so freaking good.
I know. Every time I get a cheaper bow at a great bow at a discount, it always shoots better for me too.
Yeah, exactly.
I shoot that. So last year I shot the one that's hanging on the wall here, which is my backup bow now, just in case I don't, enjoy the new one that I have. I shot and missed a deer with that one last year, and it's not the bow's fault. Like, I know I fucked up,
but it's hanging up for display anyways.
Yeah. That's a nice time.
It's in timeout.
Why does it say shame written on it in Sharpie?
And now I have their flagship, which I accidentally got. I wasn't supposed to do that. I just got the P words mixed up.
That was kind of funny how you did
I'm
that.
really an idiot, dude. That's like the one time I accidentally flew first class for work, and I was like, "Why is my ticket pink and your guys' is like purple?" And they're like, "What the fuck?" And then they're like, "I think you have first class." I'm like, "Well, that can't be right. Our accountant helped me buy the tickets. You're standing with me. I wouldn't have. That couldn't be." And they're like, "No, yeah, you got first class." And then they walked past me. I was in first class, like, "Hey, guys." They're like, "Remember that time Eric flew fucking first class because he's an idiot?"
I would like to point out that I am an idiot. The lift is available in 80 pounds. I do apologize, just for the record.
Your videos are all discredited now.
Oh, wow. Full shit.
Oh, screw me for not knowing much about a bow I don't sell or shoot.
No, that does have
You don't sell it, yeah.
You said you guys said you carry 3 major brands. What brands do you guys sell? Which ones do you stand behind?
We carry Bowtech, we carry Prime. Now, as of this year, Darton, and also Bear Archery, and then 10-point Raven crossbows.
Nice.
My first bow was a Darton because that was my dad's bow. It was a Darton Viper dual cam. I didn't kill anything with it because I was still not a good deer hunter at that point in time at all.
Yeah, typically if you're over the age of 45, your first bow was a Darton.
Yeah, I'm 38, so we're getting there. But Darton's like a name that feels ancient to me, but still makes a damn good price. In fact, Darton is the sponsor of the Southern U podcast on our podcast.
Oh, really?
Network.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Y'all know Darton's under new ownership, correct?
No, I don't know anything. I basically live under a rock.
Lord have mercy. You messing with me.
I had no
I
idea.
can't see your facial expression. You done set the camera so far away. I can't.
I have
There we
no
go.
idea it is. I have no idea.
If he says he doesn't know, he's for real.
Yeah,
He's-
but
he
I
doesn't
do know some. I'm in the industry. I do know some things. I didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying. You're in the industry, and then you say, "I know some things." I'm like, "Well, what do you know?" So so the owner of Black Eagle bought Dart and Archery
Okay.
like 2 years ago.
I've heard of Black Eagle. That's neat. No, it's all pretty cool. What are you shooting then?
All of them.
Yes.
Yes. He's shooting a prime, and he's tried out the new Bowtech. I bet.
Which one's is Prime the one? No, what's the one that sponsors the working class guys? It starts with an E.
Elite?
Is it
Elite.
Is that what it is?
I don't know who their sponsors, but there is a bow company called Elite.
What are some of the trendier new like Fandangle price point bows that are good still? Is it Elite?
Expedition?
So Prime makes the Ronin as far as price point go. Darton has the Consequence. Hoyt has the Torex. Matthews, I think they have a ladies bow.
Yeah,
I don't
I don't have a lot of strength in my upper
well,
chest.
no, you said price point bows. I was just going down the list.
Well, that's
But
what
no,
like
as
there.
far as what I shoot, I do shoot a Prime RVX 34. That's primarily what I'm kind of known for shooting because that's the bow that I've had the longest. But I do shoot a Bowtech Core SS. I also shoot a Darton Sequel 33. And ironically enough, I even shoot a bow that I don't carry, and it's even a bow that's not from this country. The APA Black Mamba Pros hanging up over here in my kitchen too.
Sounds scary. The Black Mamba sounds like it's the spider that I saw in the grass
I
tonight.
think that's what that was.
Fucking thing was gonna kill me.
I think it's a snake, actually.
You're right. Spider snake.
Equally as scary, though.
Yeah. Equally not a fan of. How about just stay the fuck away from me? I'll burn my house down.
Oh, you would hate my house.
Again, just full blown. You're talking to this is not an act. The Okayest name didn't come from like branding. It came from real shit.
All right, so I shoot 4 different bow brands. How about that?
I like that. We like Bear, obviously. Our values align really closely, and the idea of Fred Bear, who you see pictured behind Derek here that he drew, this idea of like getting a bow in everyone's hand and having it be a price point. Us speaking primarily to, I think, folks that are coming into this stuff or that are trying to learn or get that first step in the outdoor hunt side of things. Bear seems like a great. And they have a lot of youth bows. My kids have the Bear youth bow, the ambidextrous one, because I didn't want to buy a left and a right hand based on like I don't know what the hell my kids shoot.
Is that
yet.
the one the arrow goes right through the middle?
Yeah.
Of the riser?
Yeah. It's got a fletch or like a
Whisker biscuit?
but the fletching of the arrow, like the nock is like glued in, so I can't rotate it. And it's like it's fletched wrong, so the arrow fishtails out of there, and the kids are like, "What the heck?" My daughter's a deadeye though; she can, or an eagle eye, whatever it's called. She's pretty good. My son just lets it rip into fucking the abyss. He's got no patience. His eyes aren't great. Like he's just got
a lot of things working against him. Poor Dean.
Yeah, my daughter's a perfectionist, so of course she's like really on the target, and she gets pissed if she doesn't hit it.
I got to say something about that picture. You said, Derek, you drew that picture of Fred Bear behind you.
I did.
That, for one, that is absolutely impressive. Number 2, me and somebody else were talking about this the other day about Fred Bear. I've always said he's one of the original 3 OGs, godfathers of archery, but somebody else made a better point. That's the original content creator right there.
Yes,
for real.
Yes, people.
That is the original content creator before content creation was a thing.
That's how he got his shit out there because he was building a market.
Yes.
People don't realize. And I'm like, yeah, look what fucking Fred. I'm not comparing myself to Fred Bear by any stretch. That's not what we're doing. But I'm just saying he fucking started a TV show to document and show what he was doing to sell bows.
Can you imagine being those cameramen following him up to Alaska to hunt grizzly bears on that shore and up to the Arctic to shoot all this stuff when that wasn't a thing? People didn't do that regularly. It'd be like, crazy.
And he didn't pay them shit either, probably. He probably just gave them some food and free quiver.
That's still how it goes. We don't feed our cameramen or like pay them. We just feed them like whatever we.
You sit in the corner.
You're gonna sleep down here in the couch.
I've never gone out with a cameraman, so I can't talk.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I feel like you strategically avoid it.
I don't like it.
Yeah. No, it's not gonna happen, Eric.
Y'all have cameramen? I'm a little jealous about that.
Well, only because I hate self-filming so much that I refuse to fucking do it. Actually, it's funny because Derek's got all these vlogs on our YouTube channel of him just scouting around with an iPhone in front of his face, and he'll just chat the whole time, and it's very engaging as
Boring?
a viewer. No, it's like really, it's really like you'll just watch. You're like, man, I'm fucking 20 minutes in, and I'm still just watching this guy walk around the woods, talk to the camera. If I did that, it would be the most awkward piece of shit video ever. So Derek's like, but don't you like, this is what you do. You make content. I was like, no, man. We went out tonight, and I was like, why don't you do the vloggy thing? I can't do it. He's like, why not? I was like, because I get fucking weird on the camera if it's just turned on myself. I don't know what to do. I'm like the Will Ferrell, like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that from your TikTok lives, dude.
They're not good. I just
They're pretty hard to watch.
Take some notes from Scotty.
I think-
Scotty's so good at it. If you guys haven't seen some of the stuff
They're
and
good.
how he talks about the topics, you do a really good job at that.
my lives, I think I've titled them the worst live video ever. And I'm just sitting here working because I'm
I
like,
feel so bad too because I want to come in and talk to you, but you're not looking at the screen. And then I get in there, and it's like me and one other dude just watching you on the computer.
yeah, it's
I'm
so
like,
bad.
this is freaking awkward. I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable.
It's not comfortable. That's what I mean. But you watch Derek and he's comfortable. It's great. I can't. So yeah, I was like, fuck this. If we're going to do this, I'm going to have to hire someone. So we did. And I've enjoyed that. And I'm still awkward, but at least I have like another human being to talk to. So it feels a little bit more natural. Like, I'm like, do I talk to the video guy? Is that normal? Do people do this? Like, there's no rules or instructions. I haven't figured this out. So I'm like,
This camera guy
just
did
chatting to the
not
camera
come
guy.
with
And he's like, and he's
instructions.
just nodding to me. Like, he's not responding. I'm like,
Because he's not supposed to talk on
yeah,
camera? or
apparently
what?
not. I was like,
He's doing his job. He's like, I'm not supposed to talk to you.
yeah. They're like, God, this
I'm
guy's.
not here.
Buddy, I'm asking you what tree I should hunt. I need your help.
I'm like,
Tell me, damn it.
Jace, what do you think? Is it a good tree? He's like, I'm just recording. This has
That's
been
pretty
real life.
epic. I love that.
That's the show. That's what you're gonna get. Is this just more awkward bullshit? I fucking. It's not that I hate being in front of camera. I just don't know what to do.
That's just it. You don't think about it. You just be yourself. I can tell right now, you're a character.
This is different. This is different. This is audio. This is my shit.
There's literally 5 cameras in that room, and you have no
these ones
problem
don't
right
count.
now.
These ones don't count. I built this room to feel comfortable. It's different.
It looks kind of small.
It's tiny. It's tiny.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's got the wall that he's done the Ask Gary V show in and the Gary V pod, all the shit for fucking like decades now. I don't know. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a wall that feels iconic, or some shit. Like, I want people to come here and be like, oh, this is it, because that's what happened to me when I went to New York and I saw his room. I was like, that's the fucking room. It's smaller than this one. And it's in a high rise in New York, it's a nothing fucking room in this huge, like, they have the whole floor, but not that room.
I mean, if you think about it, the best podcast in the world has a little ugly, like buck cherry colored drape behind it. Freaking Joe
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan's podcast, yeah,
Yeah.
like, fucking drape. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
We don't have to sneak people in our house like he does, though. It's no big deal. Although my neighbors get a little kind of inquisitive. They're pretty old. They're like, why are these trucks pulling in your house on Tuesday night? Well, Larry, we run
Run a podcast, Larry. Shut up. Mind your business.
We see your wife leaving, and then all these guys come to your house. What's
I'm here
going on?
I'm here for the gangbang. Oh, God.
Freaking love it.
Hey, I have a question that's archery related that Scotty can chime in on. Your new bow from Bear. Do you know? I'm
That's a weird
asking the
thing.
wrong guy. Do you know how long it is, axle to axle?
Well, yeah, you gotta tell me what bow it is.
It's the Pursuit.
Not offhand. I don't know. I mean, I can look it up if you want me to.
It got me thinking because I know a couple guys who work in archery shops or who know a lot about archery, and you mentioned you're shooting like a 33 and a 34-inch bow, which are a little bit longer than your standard. Like, all the new ones are 30 inches, 29 inches. They're micro. Like, do you see that being a factor for you? Like, in shootability and forgiveness, do you think people would like Eric's tall? I'm not, but Eric's tall. He's got a long draw. You probably have like a 30-inch draw.
Yeah, I got some long arms.
Like, the smaller your bow is, the steeper the angles of the, like, for people who are going out to buy a bow, Scotty, you probably see it all the time. Is that something they should be like thinking of? Is maybe shooting like a longer bow, or like what do you see as like a positive or a benefit of that? Or I just noticed you said 2 of your bows are longer, so I was just curious.
Yeah. So yeah, basically the only benefit to a shorter bow is you won't hit it you won't hit it on as much stuff walking through the woods. That's literally the only benefit. So Eric, you're 6'1", 6'2".
6'1" or 6, just 6, just straight 6.
Just 6. Okay,
You're
I'm
shorter.
trying to help you, dude. Um,
Crouching more days. More.
So you got a 29.5, 30-inch draw. So yeah, I wouldn't if you came into my shop, unless you just said I want the shortest thing you got, which I would have looked at you and been like, you're stupid. But I would have recommended nothing less than a 33-inch draw for the main reason, the string angle. So the string angle is critical for taller people because the sharper the angle is on a shorter bow, the harder it is for you to get that string comfortable on your face. And another main reason why I like a longer bow personally is because if you take a 34-inch axle-to-axle bow, set it to, let's say my spec, 70 pounds, 29-inch draw, and then you take a 28-inch axle-to-axle bow, 70 pounds, 29-inch draw, you're going to be able to shoot that 34 so much more and so much more comfortably than that 28. The longer the bow, the more forgiving the draw cycle is, and also the more stable platform you have to hold on target.
I feel like I should go get my bow. It's in the garage. I shot it 2 days ago.
That's good.
Felt nice. By the way, I had a huge, weird whole arm injury. I can't. It wasn't my shoulder. It was my shoulder, my elbow, my forearm, my wrist. The whole thing was fucked. Allegedly. No, I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm just old, apparently. But I had a nerve got pinched in my elbow, and then it just fucked up the rest of my arm pretty bad. And so I had to get this dry needling stuff done.
Because you could not hold your bow.
I couldn't.
Let alone
I couldn't hold a fucking piece of paper. My phone may as well have been 50 fucking pounds out in front of me holding it. But yeah, it's all. I mean, there's still a couple twings or twinges here and there, depending on what I'm doing. But overall, it's fixed.
How many arrows did you put through?
I did 3 sets of 4, 12.
Nice.
12,
good.
Yeah,
that's your left shoulder, left side you're talking about, right?
Yeah, so it's not as there's not as much mechanics happening here because it's just holding it. But on that drawback, like my brain, I felt like I had to like really send some signals, be like, no, you got it, out, okay, until I hit that back wall, and now it wasn't nearly as bad at all. So that made me feel really good.
Heck yeah. Keep shooting.
What is the new bear bow that you're shooting, Eric?
It's the Pursuit, is what it's called.
Oh, I thought the one hanging up was your old one.
Yeah, the one hanging up is my old one. I'm now shooting the Pursuit, which is not in studio. I think I'm supposed to have the Pursuit in studio, but I'm shooting it, so it's not. This one's the Legend XR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I like this one too. This one's did pretty good for me. I mean,
did great for you.
I've enjoyed it. And before that I had the Bear what's it called? Empire single cam. And I really like that. It was so easy. It felt like a kid bow to me, which I fucking loved. Because I'm just like, it was smooth as butter, quiet as fuck. Like it was a great bow. But then I'd go shooting 3D with all these guys, and I felt like my arrows were so slow compared to everyone else. And I was like, I feel like I need a real bow.
I don't make this go faster.
Yeah. Like, well, you got that single cam kid bow there, Eric. I was like, okay. I got it for $100 off.
Smooth, man. A lot of people talk about the old Matthew Switchback. That's one of the best bows that they say they've ever produced.
I hear that talked about all the time. I met a guy at the range yesterday who was talking about his old Switchback and how he missed it.
Yep.
Did they make a no cam?
Huh?
Jeez, I just choked on my beer. Didn't they make a no cam or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I never figured that thing out. I mean, smooth draw cycle, but I don't know. That was one of the more deals. It was a marketing ordeal. They were doing something different, which kudos to them. It worked because they went to a single cam, then the no cam's the best thing, and now let's go back to dual cams.
Yeah.
Isn't a no cam just a trad bow? Like Bear makes a lot of trad bows. They're really good at that, right?
It definitely was not a trad bow though.
Right? No, I know. I'm just saying. We have a podcast.
It just looked like wheels.
You might actually enjoy talking to. I mean, depending on how much you go down the trad path, the Boyer podcast is one on. We have a podcast network. We're one of 12 shows, and the Boyer podcast, Matt Morris, he makes his own bows from scratch. Like he'll go find a fucking tree, chop it down, and make the whole thing. And he makes some really artisan quality bows. he also is like his accolades or his resume. He was on our show as a guest of the Okayest Hunter. If you listen to that one, and I felt like we're buddies. I talk to Matt all the time, but he had yet to had told me half of the shit he told me on the fucking podcast about how he's in like aerospace engineering and a marine and all these things. I'm like, the fuck? Went to John Hopkins.
He was an
like,
instructor for NATO.
Just crazy shit. I was like, what the fuck are you doing with our podcast? What? Like, why are you on this okay?
Why isn't he making recurve bows if he does all that?
He just loves I think the like, because he's in such high tech shit, he enjoys going backwards.
Yeah, he's not even doing recurves. He's just making self bows. Like grab a piece of wood, sit down, carve it, tiller it, put a string on it, and shoot it. Like It's just one.
That's one thing we don't mess with is recurve bows. I tell people all the time I ain't smart enough to work on them things because recurve people are a different demon.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. You get into those trad guys. I mean, I know obviously there's a lot. I say there's a lot more that goes into a compound bow, which I mean I've done it for so long. It's very simple, day to day life for me. But when people start talking about string walking and how to aim and their FOC and cutting the carbon and this, that, and the other, it's just the amount of effort a actual trad shooter goes into to get that 600 grain. You don't know a Johnny Hopkins.
That's a quote from Step Brothers. You don't know John Hopkins? I smoke weed with John Hopkins and Sloan County. You lift that shit up every day.
Tony's always
there. No, I don't know that guy.
You don't know Step Brothers to be.
Tony's always there with the solid comments.
I love it.
Yeah, when it comes to trad stuff, I just tell people you got to go somewhere else. Sorry, can't help you.
I picked up hunting with a recurve. I attempted doing that a couple of years ago.
Jared Scheffler does a longbow, right?
And man, yeah, he's got a longbow, which are two wildly different things to shoot. I learned because I thought it was pretty simple. Like Scott was just like, I just thought like, okay, pick it up, you shoot instinctively, just feel it. There's like 6 different ways to shoot instinctive. Like instinctive is not the way to go. You got to do a string walking. So like every 5 yards, you move one finger down and you put your fingers. There's like all these systems that I did not think that complicate the system that I thought was
a math equation to shoot 25 yards. It's ridiculous.
And there's a clicker. You can get a clicker. So when you've like clicked enough clicks for your full draw thing, which would have been helpful to me because I have released on some animals before I hit full draw. So yeah, it's way more complicated than I originally anticipated.
I tell people all the time, I'll order you a string if you want me to, but you got to put it on.
I don't want to twist your limbs.
That's what she said.
Lord have mercy.
Do you guys have the Latitude saddles in your shop?
I don't.
What the fuck?
I don't know anybody up there. The ones we got sell real good.
Get you an intro right fucking now.
Oh yeah?
Like right now. Like I will. I mean, I'm not going to do it this.
So not right now.
But maybe.
You said right now twice. Now you're saying
right now. Oh golly, you got. Oh Lord.
All right, I'm going to do it. Let's see if I can get a call. I can't. I got to type this number in, which takes me.
He's going to hate doing business with me. I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
No, seriously, like they're in Shields, which is I think a really great retailer, big box store. Like if you're gonna be in a big box store, I think Shields is one of the cat's meows.
I don't know, is that down south?
No, they have Academy down south. I don't think that
we don't have a good box store.
You're not, because you guys don't have Shields. That's the only reason you don't.
Shields
it's not my fault. I want to go to a Shields. I looked it up. The closest one's in freaking Illinois.
You better make the fucking trek and then just kind of get up the rest of the way and you come hang out with us.
I know some pretty good archers here in Wisconsin who don't even go to a bow shop. They go to Shields archery department because they trust it that much more. Because they're just good people working there. Like they take care of their.
Well, it's not necessarily that they're just good people. It's just that their techs are actually making $20+ an hour, so they care about what they do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They take care of their people.
And they go to like I got a great friend of mine that works for Fairdyne. And I can't tell you how many times I've called him and been like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm teaching a class at Shields. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm teaching them about broadheads, crossbows, all the brands that they carry. I'm like, why? He said, because that's part of the deal. If we sell to them, they want us to train their people so that they can basically be good customer service representatives. I'm like,
they have a huge trapping selection, and we have the Okayest Trapper podcast on that work with Zach Hansen, another smart fucker.
Dude, everyone is smarter than us by a long shot.
Oh God.
We already knew that.
Anyway, yeah, they have like a whole. I'm like, man, in what fucking world? Like, I don't even know if I go to a Bass Pro Cabela's if they would have a single trapping item, or they might have like two. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. I just think I know Shields has like at least a full entire two-sided aisle dedicated to trapping. That's not normal.
No.
Yep. I mean, I want to. Next time I go to Texas, I'm gonna go to the Shields there because evidently that's like their pride and joy. It's evidently got like a Ferris wheel in it. Not that I'm gonna get on it, but I mean that's just cool as shit to me.
You might think about it.
It's just tree stands.
If you're
that go in
there
a
and it's
circle.
there, you might as well try it.
Yeah, that'd be cool as hell. They have like a bunch of Millennium seats in there. You gotta jump in. That's how you ride the Ferris wheel. It's like, oh, I like this one. How high you want to go? It's freaking awesome.
Buckle that harness in, and then you can go.
Then they do that with saddles too. All right, for the experienced riders.
So what saddles do you carry? There's only so many on the market. I'm assuming
There's quite a few brands. Not many of them are big, but
Latitude.
The main one we carry right now is just a tethered.
Yeah.
That's the one specifically people ask for in my area. And if anybody's listening, I don't carry what I like. I carry what people ask for because what I like may not sell.
Well, have you had people ask for Latitude yet?
I haven't. I've had people ask, like, what's the difference? I'm like, the difference is I have tethered here.
Right.
You can try this one. You can't try that one.
The difference is you'll know right now if this fits or not. I don't necessarily have anything against them. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't think they've had a huge focal point or focus to the southern market per se, which is something we're helping with. I mean,
I don't know why, because a southern hunter will buy a tree stand before he feeds his family. I mean, I'm serious. When it comes time for deer season, oh yeah, we buying that dopey. No, we don't need a new toy for your birthday. No, you'll get another one next year.
I gotta see if I can hold on.
You do that, I'm gonna reload. Oh, well, actually, unload and reload. Where am I?
There, yeah, you do that. I'm sure I'll have to do it at some point here. 757 4120. Jesus, I can't type these. The numbers are on the row up top, and I like the number pads.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a number pad on here.
Thanks a lot, man.
I just texted Corey to see. I don't know if he's around or not, but I said you or Alex should call in from Latitude. But I also then just texted randomly my buddy Jared Norwood from Arkansas to call into the show.
Is Jared the Southern you?
No, he's got nothing to do with anything other than he's the most Southern guy I know. And I think he's going to give Scott's accent a run for his money, and they can just talk Southern bullshit for a minute. That's all. I just want to hear him say funny things like, you're more Southern than cornbread in his Southern accent. I think I was talking to him one time, and he's like, and he's been on the show before, Jared, and he's like, I think we talked about saddle hunting with Jared at one point. He's like, got to protect the boys, you know. And he said, "Oh, that's so funny. I peed down both legs, but in a Southern way."
Sounded better because it was in a Southern draw.
It was a terrible time for me to come back.
You know,
all I heard was I pee down both legs.
You signed up for? What other podcasts have you been on? You've been on a bunch yet?
No. I was on hope he ain't listening. The sportsman, True Sport. He works for Bear Archery too. Typical sportsman.
Yeah. Oh,
I was on his last week.
Yeah,
I've been on a few smaller ones, and that's really about it.
You'll make your rounds if you want to like make some rounds. Like you might actually want to talk to the Southern U podcast folks if you're carrying Darton and they're Darton rep or sponsor, and they're in your neck of the woods. That might be a fun. They're on our network, so it'd be an easy get for you.
I'll talk to anybody.
Well,
I'm friendly.
Yeah, tell me. Oh shit, we do have a caller. Who is it? Who do we got? Oh fuck yes. Hold on. Hey, Jared, you're live on the show.
Man, I'm glad to be live. What you up to, man?
Hold on. Can anyone? Let me make sure everyone can hear you because I got to check my Skype settings. One second. All right, Jared.
That's a good sign. Scott can hear him.
Good, Jared. Man, I haven't talked to you in a while, but randomly texting you on a Tuesday to call on the show because Scott, our guest, is from the Georgia area, And I was like,
Oh
I know
man,
another
Southern
guy.
boy, I love it.
I know another Southern guy. His name's Jared, and he's from Arkansas. So I thought it'd just be fun
Arkansas.
to have another Southerner on the line.
I'm glad we're well represented up there in the north.
Yeah. Well, you've been. So Jared's pretty hardcore. He hunts Arkansas. You could tell me maybe where, maybe don't tell me where. But Jared packs his deer out because it's hot as balls down there. I don't know if I think you've saddle hunted. I don't know what you're hunting out of for saddle, but I know you've sent me
They
pics.
don't have trees in Arkansas.
Oh man, we got lots of trees. It's pine country here too.
Not where I duck hunted at.
Yeah, I don't chase them ducks. They can keep them things. It brings in a lot of money to the state, but I ain't sitting out there in that cold water just to shoot 5 ducks and not be a member of one of them big clubs that has all the ducks on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's why I rented my own place and didn't shoot even 5. Oh, y'all killing more than 5 ducks? Where are you hunting at?
Sounds like you guys need to be on the Upduck
I ain't tell
podcast
you
too.
that, man.
Sounds like
They're a very big secret.
the big private club sounds like the place to be.
Isn't Arkansas like the mecca for duck hunting, Jared?
Oh yeah,
It
man.
is, but Oklahoma's trying really hard to take that trying to take that title.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. I mean, there's been stories and books and everything written about Biomeda. I mean, most people are just deer hunting Biomeda now because it's pretty scarce on the old ducks. I love duck hunters though. I hunt a lot in the White River Refuge, and I'll be at the boat dock 4:00 in the morning. They're all, "Hey, what hole are you going to?" I'm like, "I'm not going to any of the holes, but which one are y'all going to? Because I know every escape route after all these holes. And when y'all start shooting, I'll start killing."
That's perfect.
Heck,
Oh yeah. We're 30 days out from
30.
Arkansas just opened up our velvet season, so it's our first velvet season other than I used to do that urban hunt here. So we're gearing up for September 8th, 9th, 7th, 8th, 9th, something like that.
And what is that?
Bow season.
So that's archery. Anybody can do it.
Yep. Public, private, 3-day velvet hunt here in Arkansas.
You gonna get it done in 3 days, Big Hoss, or what?
Yeah. No, man, I meant to tell you this. I went crazy and became a landowner. I bought me 64 acres of prime real estate in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And if y'all know where Pine Bluff, Arkansas is.
I don't know where that
Oh,
is.
I know exactly where Crime Bluff is. Yeah, go ahead and finish your story. I got a story for you. Go ahead.
You know what we're talking about then. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Here's a rarity for Arkansas. It had turkeys on it. So as soon as I looked at the game cam pictures and confirmed that it was in fact from that property, I put a bid in on it, and sure enough, it has turkeys and deer. It's right on the Bayou Bartholomew, the biggest bayou, I think, in the U.S., but don't get me lying. I'm known to elaborate on stories. But and then about 400 yards from my property line is about 1,000 acres of soybeans. So I'm excited. I've been out there.
You've been glassing and
trees
you got trail cam set?
all that. I do. I've got 2. I don't have. I guess I'm running 4 of the Tacticams now.
There you go.
Love those bad boys. And I hadn't had a picture of deer in 3 days, but I'm not expecting them to be on there till those soybeans go yellow. So I might be threading the needle on trying to get a velvet buck out of there. But man, still got a lot of options. We've got some bucks showing up down at the White River that are pretty nice, and we kind of got not as much rain this year, so not the land of plenty as much, but there's still a lot to shoot at down here in OR, Kansas.
Congratulations on your real estate purchase. That's exciting. Good for you.
You might have told me you're cooking something up, and maybe it hadn't happened yet when I talked to you last. I think I was driving in the car, and we had chatted for a hot minute.
Yeah, dude. I went and bought me a whoop-ass chainsaw. I'm sorry if I can't cuss.
You can cuss. I think I might have said the F-bomb 5 times already.
Sweet. Bought me a whoop-ass chainsaw and I started listening to Land and Legacy and just been cutting and burning, shit, I'm loving it. I'm loving being a landowner,
Dude,
man.
have you checked
I'm
out the
tired.
Southern U podcast on the network yet? Those boys know what they're talking about. They have a habitat guy and a land management guy and a marketing guy.
See, it's awesome. Now, what's the name of the podcast again?
Southern U, the Southern U on
You,
IG and FB and YouTube and all that jazz. But they,
And I'm gonna check it out.
you might, tell me what you think about it. Like you be the judge and the jury on that one.
Yeah, I've been a fan of the old Southern Outdoorsman for a while. Like those cats. Really enjoyed the Mississippi deer study stuff. Although, we just got too many thickets around here. How's that hunting in Georgia, man? Like, Scott, is it? Y'all got a lot of deer just can lay up hard to pattern them.
Well, see, Georgia's got an issue. The issue is, for $60, you can kill 12 deer on one license, $2, 10 does. And they say we have an antler restriction. I ain't never seen it enforced. Basically, about the only way you're going to kill a big deer is in Atlanta, hence Seek 1.
I was gonna say, we know Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the players play.
Or there are, I want to say, a handful of trophy counties in the southern state, or in the southern part of the state, that those guys do legitimately kill 140s, 150s. We have genetics, we have potential, we just don't have the ability to let one walk.
That's everywhere, man.
I do want to point out one thing about Pine Bluff, real quick.
The story you're saying, you had a crime story?
Well, I didn't know I was in danger story.
You're in danger.
I could tell you had some sort of opinion about that.
Apparently I was. So I got invited. I don't know if y'all know Haybo Outdoors. They're a clothing brand.
Sounds fair.
And anyways, I got invited to go out to their private club out there. And I drove up early one day. I wanted to go hit the casinos. So I went to Pine Bluff, which was only 30 miles away, and stayed the night.
What do you plan at the casino? Real quick, we got to know what your game is.
Do what?
What's your game at the casino? What are you doing?
Oh, blackjack.
Oh, fuck. All right, you're smart. Count cards.
21,
No.
I got.
I'm a craps guy.
Well, the next morning we meet up, and the next day we're in the duck blind, not shooting anything, and we're talking. And they said, "Where'd you stay last night, Scotty?" I said, "Pine Bluff." They said, "You mean Crime Bluff?" I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Look up the statistics," and I got them right here on my phone. You have a 1 in 9 chance of getting shot in that city. Pine Bluff is the least safe of the communities within 30,000 to 100,000 residents. It's the least safest place. They were making jokes about me the whole time. Like, man, you should have had Coke cans on your doorknob at your hotel.
You know what you're saying there is land prices are still cheap there, sir.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When you said you bought land, I bet it wasn't expensive.
It was not. I got it for a straight up.
Is it in an opportunity zone, Jared? Shit.
The reason that turkeys were there because the wild game aren't the ones being shot.
Dude, there's so many bodies buried on that property this dude doesn't know about.
But if you watch Seek 1, we talked about this when we were canoeing out of the property. He's got that video he put on that big double drop time buck, and it was like he's fucking walking over, heroin needles and like homeless people.
Oh, yeah.
Drug fights, and I mean, it was like pretty freaking sketchy.
Hey, we may not grow some deer, but we can grow some good meth and marijuana in this state.
Got to hang your hat on something.
Where do you think Pine Bluff gets all their product from?
But hey, I was tickled pink. That good deer on there. I mean, especially in that area, they kill some. I was looking around at some of the other clubs and talked to them, and I mean, they kill some. They got some great genetics. I'm from. So if you think about where I primarily hunt in Southwest Arkansas, that's all pine country. So it looks a lot like Georgia. I mean, it's just pine plantation after pine plantation. You're hunting FMZs and. Deer gets over 140 inches. He may be, he may have 6 inches of mass, anywhere. I mean, it's just pencil horn pine cone deer is what I call them. And at least in the Delta here, you get out towards Stuttgart and all there, you can find some. I mean, that's where every Boone and Crockett deer in the state. You just run right down the Mississippi River, and that's where they're all killed.
Yeah.
And Pine Bluff is kind of like the start of that Delta area. And to be honest, I'm 5 miles outside in a little town called Pine-Bergenden, but it's still Pine Bluff.
You just watch yourself, Jared. You just take good care.
He's stacked. He
man,
brings guns everywhere he's going. If you catch my
gotta.
Yeah.
Gotta.
Hey, they're gonna have to work to find me. I ain't there, so
well,
I'm on the lookout.
Thanks for calling in, buddy. It's good to hear from you.
Hey, good to hear from you too, and way to have some Southern folks on here, man. Our accent's better anyway. We tell better jokes.
Yeah, so. Well, no, I've been trying to get you to be on the fucking podcast network for years. So, fucking nut up.
I know, dude. Hey, work.
All right,
work, man.
You have a good
I'm
one.
out here trying to sell this money. All right, y'all. Good talking to you, and we'll talk soon, Eric.
See you, bud.
Nice
Bye.
to talk to you, Scott.
Yeah, you too, Jerry. Have a good one, buddy. Stay safe.
All right, man. I will.
Man,
good
I'm
buddy,
gonna see him on an episode of Cops one of these days. I know it. Some NCIS shit.
I'm glad he called in. I haven't heard from Jared in a hot minute. Apparently, he bought land. That's how long it's been since I talked to Jared. Anywho, I don't know what the fuck we were talking about before Jared came on and how we got into all that, other than I just felt like I need another Southern accent on this whole thing.
I'll find somebody.
Yeah, you probably got plenty of people. You go live on TikTok for 2 minutes, you probably get 2,000 people to call into the show.
No, I ain't gonna get none. Well, I may get some of them.
So what is it that you're doing on TikTok? You said you got the brews, or what are you doing? Something pint night, or what do you got going on with the TikTok?
Yeah, Bows and Brews. It's so it's basically a podcast but live on TikTok. I don't do it as often as I used to because, contrary to popular belief, I do work for a living. I used to do it every Thursday night, and I would either have some kind of bigger content creator or a celebrity on there.
I think you asked me, which I mean, I don't hit either of those two buckets, but I got 3 kids under the age of 6, so it's a shit show around here.
Did I ask you?
You did, and I just couldn't figure out the timing because it's
you had asked me about this podcast like months ago, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And you said, "Okay," and that was it for a while.
That's how I roll. Oh yeah, okay, we're good. Let's do it. And it's like, well, this is what we do it on Tuesdays at 6. That's just what we do. Like, you bend to my will. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any other, like, I can't tell my wife, like, oh, I'm going to do this again another night, and you're going to have all 3 kids by yourself. Like, this ain't the 50s. So, I got to be respectful and a dad first. I'm a dad first. Like, that comes first. And then,
absolutely.
But this worked out. We just pushed the time back, and we fucked up the time zones anyways, and it all worked out. So, but the Bows and Brews?
Yeah, Bows and Brews.
I've seen it a couple of times, if nothing else, because every now and again I'll log in on the old tiki-taki, and
it's a lot of fun because you never know what's going to happen. There's no do-overs, and of course you got live comments. A couple.
That's how we roll. Yeah,
I like it. I like how y'all roll, honestly. But it's live comments and stuff like there, and I mean, you just never know what's going to pop up in the comment section. Luckily, I got some good moderators, so if people are being stupid, they get blocked like really fast. In fact, my moderator's like, it's a contest to see who can block the most people.
Moderators, we don't have one of those.
That's because you've only got 2 people in your lives, dude.
It used to be fire back when, like, so this all started when Facebook first launched their live product. It used to not even be possible. And so when Facebook Live first came out, I love being first mover advantage on new tech, although I'm aging myself out of shit because I can't keep up. Which is, if you study Moore's law, the rate of adoption will be lost to the rate of change, which is kind of where I'm falling into the fold now. Like, I can't adopt technology as fast as it's coming up, but nonetheless, our first lives when we were nobody, we were getting 500 people in a live session. Just because it was the new thing that Facebook was pumping. And now it's there's 6 people. But it's also not hunting season yet. So, come hunting season, we do quite a bit better. But I also don't give a shit about who's watching live.
No offense to those of you watching live.
No,
thanks.
I'm glad you're here. But it's not that's not. I'm
the
not
number
doing it
doesn't
for the
drive you.
I don't care. Yeah, we're going to be live just because I don't I like the idea that people can call into the show.
Well, I will say, and to anybody out there that's listening, lives or good outdoor lives are a dime a dozen. And people watch them, and it will drive business to your website if you have one. It'll help you with followers.
Oh, it's wild, dude. We've sold merchandise from a live. Watch this. Go buy a yard sign. You can get the bow hunting and venison campaign yard sign right now, and it's actually not $25. I think it's.
I was about to say, you freaking ripoff.
And so, like, here we go. You can go buy this yard sign right now. It's on the screen. You can scan the QR code, click the link that shows up in the comments.
I'm surprised you have any left.
I'm willing to bet I'm going to get a Shopify ding here in about 3 seconds.
Did you sell all the ones that you got in person?
We sold out, and then we put another order.
Someone scanned the QR code. How much is that thing for real?
I think we got it for $25. 20. It's either I think it's 20.
Oh, it's $20.
Dude, they're really expensive to ship though. Like we're fucking up on that bad on the business side.
Oh, because it's so. I was about to say, damn,
so big. But that's the. I don't think we could sell them for more than that. Like no one's gonna buy a fucking yard sign. But we sold out of 50, or we never ran a single ad, never did anything, and just organic posting.
I think Matt Strine bought them all.
And then we just ordered 50 more, and we're ready. I think today we sold 15 today already. So like they're moving, but they're expensive from a business standpoint. But what it does is it raises the average order value because people buy this, that, and the other thing when they're at the store. So it's kind of working out. But also, it's just kind of fun. Like we want to capitalize on the election year and just have some fun with it because I'm just tired of the polarization bullshit. Like, let's just go to the fucking deer woods.
Let's go.
Like, actually, the buck behind Derek here, this was that Nate? I got that guy on election day.
Y'all going downstate anywhere this year or nah?
Derek?
Yeah, I'm going to Illinois on Friday with 3 buddies. We're going to hunt there this fall again. So we're going to go do some scouting, hang some cameras, and then Greg, our other co-host, and I are going. Eric's sending us off with a cameraman to Oregon.
It's Oregon.
Oregon.
Can't say Oregon unless you're from here, but when you get there,
Oregon is that thing you play in church, though. So I'm always like, ugh. No, we'll be right by the coast, hunting blacktail in October. So that should be
gangster.
Yeah, rifle. So reach out and smash something.
Should be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
You guys might tour the Nosler facility while you're there, which would be cool. They're adding on to their facility.
We just got to shoot bucks right away.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Oregon's on my list. I'm going to Kansas for the first time this year.
Heck yeah.
Tried to go to Montana last year, but they lied about the percentage rate of first time drawing tags.
Were you trying to draw for elk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy's like, yeah, you should have no problem. And then
oh, look at this little problem.
He's like, you got one preference point. You're guaranteed. And then I put in, and next thing I know, I get a check in the mail for my license that I'd already paid for. I'm like, oh, guess this means I didn't win.
Yeah, those aren't cheap anymore either. Montana, especially, like even deer, I think are crazy expensive now for a non-resident.
I've heard Arizona's New Mexico's a great place for elk.
Yeah,
well, you have a true lottery.
Yeah, it's a great place.
A true lottery. So that's what they mean by that. Is like anyone can apply. You could have applied for 20 years. You have the same chance of getting it as a guy who never applied before because it's a true lottery. So that's why they say that. Just throw it in because you might get it.
Yeah, interesting.
Colorado's going to a lottery system after this year.
Yeah, no more over the counter, right?
Yeah,
that was a big change.
That's wild.
Colorado's making a lot of big changes. We'll see how it pays off for them.
They've been a fucking.
Let's bring some wolves in. Let's get rid of.
I was about to say, now if you're lucky enough to win an elk hunt, you get to go camp with wolves.
Hey, you want to pay more, not get to come on, and then when you do, have all the elk eaten by wolves? Come on over to Colorado.
That was so stupid. I thought that was a joke, and then I saw the videos of them actually letting the wolves out of the crates. I'm like, oh, these guys are really stupid.
I don't know about it. If I was in college, I'd probably do a big old fucking paper on it and do all the scholarly research and figure out the whole gambit of it. But I don't know enough to be talking about it, and I don't talk about shit I don't know, at least not confidently.
And I'm the exact same way, but I kind of in scenarios like that, I try to look at it from a layman's standpoint. What in the hell does a 200-pound dog do for the environment except kill everything that the environment likes, including us as humans? Not saying they kill us as humans. They can, they do. I understand that, but they kill elk. Well, elk bring in a significant amount of income out of state tags, hence for that state. Well, if the elk numbers are on the decline, so are the hunting tags, so is the income. Which I've already heard some of those dogs already got deceased somehow. Which
Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, the neighboring states already said, "Listen, dude, we're treating this like the Trump wall. If they come across here, they're ours. They're done." TKO. Which I don't blame them one bit. But anyways, new, less political topic.
No, God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm supposed to be a better listener than a talker, which I suck at. So God must fucking hate me. Anywho, we talked about some juicy shit, which is funny because we're drinking Juice Force IPAs here. So I don't know what else is juicy in your neck of the woods, like not that we need to be controversial. That's not the point, but
let's get controversial.
But like in the bow shop, what's the shit that
what are some pet
what
peeves?
really grinds your gears?
So it's August.
Like
archery season in Wisconsin's opening in a month.
Yeah.
It's a month. Like you got people, you mentioned you got people coming in. Like, what is the pet peeve
I'm
that
the
you're
people,
seeing?
by the way.
Eric, what is Eric doing in your shop that's pissing you off?
I'm actually a little ahead of the game this year.
If you won third place at a church 3D shoot, you are not a professional freaking archer.
So,
amen.
You'd love this. We give. So 2 years ago.
This was the best.
Foam Fest is our 3D archery event. You heard us talking about in the beginning of the show. It's pretty chill. Like it's meant to be chill. This isn't fucking tack.
You don't have to keep score. Like you can just go shoot.
This isn't. We're not doing. I like beast mode archery guys. Those guys are great. Like we're not fucking like hauling around sandbags and doing rucks. We're just drinking beer and shooting bows and having a good time. But we gave a bear bow to the lowest score of the first year because we figured that guy needed it the most.
Yeah.
Like, look, you don't got to win first place to win a fucking bow at the Okayest hunter shoot. And so then last year, to mix it up so we didn't have people point shaving, we gave it to the median score. So we did some math and we averaged it out. And whoever got the most average score won the fucking bow. This year, I don't know what we're gonna do. We got to figure it out. But
sounds like y'all working really hard to give away a free bow.
We're just having some fun with it,
That's pretty funny though. Hey, you suck pretty bad. Let's see if we can help you.
Well, what was great was he immediately was like, "Oh my!" He was so excited, and it was a friend of yours that won.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Can we set it up right now?" So we took it to the range and we got it all set up. And he's like, "Oh, this thing shoots awesome! I'm not gonna lose next year."
He didn't lose a single arrow. He did the 3D course with that bow.
Yeah,
it was the Bear Legit that he won. We got another caller. It's one of our common callers, Noah Heinz. You're live on the show, Noah. What's up, buddy? What do you got going on tonight?
Oh, nothing much, guys. Just got back from trap shooting. Saw you were still on. Listening for most of the podcast.
Awesome. Good to hear you, Noah.
Yeah, good to hear you guys, too.
How'd you do tonight in trap? Did you do all right? Okay.
Not one of my better nights. I know it was unfortunate because it was the last night of the summer league.
Ah, shit. Well, what'd you do? What the fuck happened?
I don't know. It was hot.
It was hot. Derek and I were sweating our balls off tonight.
We didn't go super far, but we're sure.
I was like, not really.
Dude, when you called me, Eric, you sound like you had just ran a marathon. You're like, what time is it where you are? I'm like 7:45. You good, dude? You're like, oh, it's only 6:45.
My hip flexors were hurting going through that canary
that
grass.
tall grass is
fuck that
bitch
shit.
to walk through.
God, I need to take a break. Like my muscles can't take this in this area that never gets worked out ever. How the fuck do you work out a hip flexor? You walk through tall grass. By the way, it reminds me of a joke. Noah, you want to hear a joke?
Sure.
How does a Scotsman find sheep in tall grass?
I don't know. How do they?
Very satisfying.
Yeah,
no?
He's definitely bad.
Come on. He's got a kiltie, Licking his pecker. I got to spell it out for you guys. Derek's looking at me like,
No, it's just not funny.
damn it. All right, Noah. Sorry. So, okay.
Sorry.
How's your property going, buddy?
Pretty good. I actually got up there to plant a week ago. Now,
Did you
I
get
think it was a
some?
week ago.
Did you get some rain?
Yeah, actually,
bit,
it
we
was
got a
great
little bit.
timing. Planted Saturday, got everything. I actually just got a brand new roller crimper, so I got to try that out. Got everything crimped down, broadcast the seed, and then that night we got a nice shower.
Perfect.
And then it was Tuesday. It stormed up there pretty good.
Sweet, dude. That's exciting.
That's good. Rain makes.
Going up this weekend with some buddies.
How's that song go?
Rain makes corn. Corn makes
whiskey. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Whiskey makes my baby feel a little frisky.
That's what I wanted to
Luke
say.
Bryan, it's those first grade lines.
Scott has left. There's a lag for you, but he's not on the screen for me. He's like, I'm out. No, I'm just kidding. But he's not there. He must be doing something. He does have a case of Busch Light, though. Is he going to pee in that carton that he grabbed?
I hope it comes back with that full of something weird.
Should you practice peeing in cartons as part of your regiment?
For what?
I don't know.
What kind of regimen?
I don't know. Like your general
your podcast regimen?
Right. Yeah, I should probably get a catheter hooked in here without leaving everyone hanging all the time when I have to go piss.
Good. That'd be funny.
Do you have pre-hung stands on your property then too?
I have one tower stand on my main food plot, and then I honestly I used to use my climber. Now I'm using the sticks to go around. I'm thinking of a pre-hanging. I actually just got done a couple week project of I had some of those old Hawk. I think they're 3-step
helium,
like all aluminum sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're the heliums or the step down from the heliums.
Probably the step down.
But actually, I just stealth stripped like all of it. And I'm thinking this year I'm going to actually just put those up and leave those up for the season. And then just bring up my platform when I want to go to that spot with my saddle.
You have a Latitude saddle, right? I think I remember you trying it out.
I got the Latitude. And then at the back end of last year, they had that nice Black Friday sale. I picked up some of the carbon sticks.
Yeah, those are dope. There's a chance to win some of those this year at Foam Fest. So I think I need to buy.
Which I'll probably try to
4th or 5th.
Probably try to put in that bucket just to get some more.
We talked about it last year. They run a deal on 3 of them. Me, you, and Greg were going to buy the 3-pack, and each of us take one.
Oh yeah, well, let's just do that this year.
Let's do that because I need
one more, and he needs one more, and not you. Yeah, so that makes sense. We'll just split the 3.
We'll buy a 3-pack.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's actually smart. If you know some folks that you hunt with, like you need some more sticks, it's a good way to go. Check it out. Use code OHP, of course. Save yourself a little bit of cash.
Yeah, 20%.
Of course.
Yeah. Are you coming to Foam Fest? I see that you registered.
Oh yeah. Yep, I'm coming to Foam Fest. I actually just did a 3D archery shoot up in Poinet last weekend.
Was that one of the HHA ones?
No, this is a Vortex sponsored one, actually.
Oh, Vortex. That's awesome. That's awesome. Their facility is really dope. We toured it about a year ago, and it's pretty impressive.
I go there because the nice discount they offer us military members.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. You got any questions for Scott, who happens to be an archery shop guy? Well, we got him here.
Yeah, I was actually, because I just heard when I left the live stream to call in, you guys were talking about controversial stuff, and I'm like, oh, archery controversial. I want to hear his opinion on like the heavy arrows, because I know you got the grizzly sticks now. I don't know what
I got one hanging up right here.
Weight you're running on them.
How do I get that Nox light up? Do you think it'll?
Yeah, I was curious about that also, Noah, because Scott said they do a ton of arrow builds for different states, and like what better way to kind of get a feel for the heartbeat of the archery community than building arrows for them, because you kind of can learn a lot about it. So I'm also curious about that.
Well, I will start off by saying there's no other arrow in the whole state of PA other than a 350 spine RIP TKO, no matter what you're drawing.
Everybody's shooting the RIP TKOs.
In a 350 spine. There's no such thing as a 300, a 250, or 400. It's just a 350. But to answer your question, Noah, I do get requests quite often for heavier arrow builds, and my first question is, "What are you shooting at?" And
Rabbit.
typically the response is whitetail. I want 600 grains. I'm a 27-inch draw. I pull 60 pounds. My response is, why? I said it'd be different if you're going to South Africa.
Because they watch the ranch fairy.
And you know what's funny about that? A very good friend of mine works for Serious Archery, who is a big partner with Ranch Fairy, and we get a kick out of sending each other customer emails sometimes. Some of the stuff we get is hilarious. But on a professional level, uh, heavy is good, too heavy is not good. A lot of people think you have to be at a specific arrow total weight in order to get higher FOC. Also, we're working on it, Tony. Um, higher FOC, which is absolutely 100% bullshit. If you want high FOC, you can stay under 500 grains with a lighter GPI arrow. For example, one of my favorite arrow builds of all time is the Black Eagle X Impact. It's a light GPI arrow. You throw a 100 grain focus system on the front, which is one of their insert options. Then a 100 grain tip. There's just a standard 100 grain broadhead. Well, now you got 200 grains up front with, somebody can quote me, I want to say a 8.2 GPI grains per inch arrow. That gives you like 15% FOC, and I was at 480 grains at a 70 pound bow, 300 spine, 29-inch draw. So to answer your question, I'm not big on the super heavy ordeal unless I'm going to shoot a Cape buffalo. Um, as far as whitetail, elk, anything like that, if you look at a Black Eagle Rampage, if you look at a Victory, that TKO, any of those higher end arrows that come with a 50 grain half out or insert option, that's going to do more than what is necessary to get you a good pass through on that whitetail if you hit it half-assed decently. So that's my take on it. That's my personal opinion, but I also like being able to shoot over 25 yards, which is why I don't shoot a 700 grain arrow.
They drop fast. Otherwise,
It's like
Yeah,
shooting a
they
bow
do.
paddle.
But I mean, I am shooting. Eric knows I'm a tall guy, so I'm shooting. I think it's a 31-inch draw length,
Okay.
70 pound.
Noah's a big fucking dude.
Well, that's awesome. That's great kinetic energy. So why would you want to slow yourself down? Is usually what I ask those guys.
So when I accidentally shoot him in the shoulder, it'll punch through it. That's kind of what I'm.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Well, let me ask you this, Noah. How heavy do you think is heavy? Let me ask so I know kind of where your mindset is.
Yeah, I'm shooting a 450 grain arrow with a 200 grain single bevel broadhead.
So you're shooting a 650 grain total weight arrow?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, that'll do it. I bet your bow's quiet as hell.
It's a Hoyt RX7.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's nothing wrong with that. As long as that's what you're, going for, it'll do the job. I mean,
And how far do you think? No, how far do you think you're comfortable shooting? Like, what's your optimal range that you're not going to go past or shoot within?
I mean, I was doing pretty good at 40, 50 yards at the 3D shoot, like hitting in the 10 range pretty often. So I mean, anything closer than that, I'd have no problem shooting a deer.
You don't think you'd have any issues with the deer ducking the arrow at 30 yards plus?
I'm not sure. I have not really shot at too many deer at 30 plus yards.
Yeah.
I had a deer. I had a nice buck last year at, I think it was right about 30 yards, and he ducked a little bit, but he knew I was there already. I know it was with my old bow, so I hit him high shoulder. Never ended up getting him.
Well, I'll tell you, tell everybody else, no, it's strictly preference. There's no rhyme, reason, or science or a perfect way to do everything. If that's the arrow build that you're comfortable with and you have confidence in, then stick with it because that's going to put confidence in your shot, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's my first year using it. Like, I bought the new bow, and I'm like, oh, time to try out a new arrow system. And
Yeah,
I've been hearing a lot
absolutely.
about this heavy arrow weight stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
once
I'm
again,
not
go
gonna
ahead.
like I'll say too, like when I watched the Hunting Public and the Ranch Fairy on the Hunting Public YouTube channel 2 years ago, they were talking about the iron wills. I bought them right then and there. Like, I fucking pulled up my phone,
You
ironwill.com,
guys sprinkle with some fairy dust.
purchased. And I was, like, so enthused because Greg's always, like, every time he's on the podcast, he's sharpening a fucking broadhead as he's talking to us. But Greg does bear shaft tuning, paper tuning, like, he
Knock
sharpens his
tuning.
broadhead, knock tuning. Greg's very technical and dials his shit in. I just give everything to Greg and tell him to help me figure it out. Greg's like my archery shop. And I shot a doe with that setup from the ground at 30 yards, full pass through. She when the arrow hit her, she ducked and turned. And when I watched her run away, the fletching was, I saw the fletching in her. So as the moment happened, and we all know that this happens fast and slow in our mind. It happens fast in real time in our mind, and we can see these like details. And so I thought she ran off with the arrow in her. I go to the point of impact, and I found, this is all on YouTube, I found my arrow, full pass through, good blood, on the single bevel S100 iron will broadhead with the heavy FOC. I was shooting a Vector custom shop arrow before they remarketed to Method, before they went out. And what had happened is she fucking cut the arrow and ran off with the fletching stuck in her. The shot was higher than I would have, I think, maybe preferred. And the blood never filled the cavity to drain out. And so it was a full pass through, but on one, the exit hole was blocked by the fletchings and the arrow stuck in her. And I never recovered that doe. And it sucked. And I was like, fuck, man, I got a full pass through. Like, you hear the shot on the video and you're like, she's fucking dead. I don't know. Maybe she probably, if she was, I never found her because I couldn't trail her because the blood dried up. So I don't know.
That could
But
be.
every other deer I shot, these two were both single bevel, fucking 500-ish grain. I don't remember the exact weight, but everything's 500-ish.
I think that could be the other reason. I mean, I really like the new bow, as we talked about earlier. I said it's my favorite one. I think that I love the bow, but I also love, I got new arrows this year, and they are lighter. They're 488 grains. My other ones were probably somewhere in the 550 to 580 range. I think maybe that could be part of it.
Get there. And shot placement is the king of all kings. Like if FOC is the king, well then shot placement is God.
Yeah.
Like shot
always has
placement all
been.
day. So just fucking practice, and to what Scott said, be confident in your setup. And if you win a 3D archery shoot, maybe that gives you a false sense of confidence, but also like in those 3D archery shoots, you're shooting odd angles, uphill, downhill, this way, that way, this target, that target, this range, that range. Like, you should build a lot of confidence through 3D archery.
Which is my
setup.
next plug that I just want to mention to anyone who's listening who has not shot. If you hunt from a tree stand or from a saddle,
to bend at your hips,
make sure you are shooting at least some of your practice from an elevated position. Like today, I was walking around. I was shooting, in the backyard.
Everything in my backyard is elevated.
I'm shooting flat. And then I was like, okay, which tree am I going to throw my saddle platform up in so I can just like do a couple rounds every other day or whatever, just to do that, because it does shoot different. You shoot from 20 feet up at a deer that's real close. You better be aiming real underneath that deer. Like get used to it because it's coming.
100%. Have y'all ever shot a tack event
like that?
I haven't shot tack.
No.
Go ahead, Noah.
And talking about shots like that too, it's another reason I kind of missed this buck last year. Derek knows what I'm hunting up north in the Northwoods there. It's very hilly. And I'm on the side of this hill, and this deer bolted down 10 yards farther, but also 10 yards down the side of the hill.
Yeah. Makes a severe angle.
Yeah. And I just did not practice that shot enough, and I shot high.
Yep. It's tough. Yeah. Those extreme downhill shots is what really gets a lot of shooters, because it's a whole lot easier to bend uphill versus downhill. I don't know what it is, at least on my body, maybe not y'all, but I can shoot a 70-degree uphill way more comfortably than I can a 70, 80-degree downhill shot. I guess because I don't feel like I'm falling.
Because is it because your anchor point is changing? If you're not like I'm not kidding, because I've missed 2 deer now. One real fucking nice, one fine. For that very reason, and straight over their backs because I didn't bend at the hips. And so now I just play the fucking Happy Gilmore scene in my head. Bend at the hips. Bend, because I gotta tell myself, like, fucking bend at the hips, dipshit. You're gonna mess this up. So my whole backyard's like a 45-degree
Yeah,
slope
you got
hill.
a big hill.
So I'm shooting down at that tree now, and that because I can shoot in the side of the yard where it's flat, and that's fine. So I'm doing that, but I'm also bringing the target block, lobbing it down the hill, that dice thing, whatever the hell that is, and lobbing them downhill. I'm also climbing up a tree and shooting downhill. So I've got 3 points in my yard that I can practice from: flat, hill standing, saddle platform. So I'm contending with the bridge and all that stuff.
Shooting downhill is always a good idea. You're gonna lose less arrows, also.
I shot over the top and it went to the top of the target So here's one thing. No, dude, thanks for the call. We have some other questions coming in. I'm gonna drop you off because I need to be better about.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
But I appreciate.
Hey, we'll see you at Foam Fest, buddy.
Yeah, bud. Thank you.
Have a good one, Noah. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
So one thing I was trying to practice when I was talking about shooting those 12 arrows the other day was trigger time, or I don't know if there's a name for this, but when I'm practicing, I'll spend all day leveling my sight, getting my anchor point, just gonna adjust so. Deep breath in.
Do you do the deep breath thing?
Well, that's how you shoot from with a rifle. You have to shoot the bottom of your breath.
Do you remember the guy we had on the podcast who said, fuck that? He said, you never do that when you're shooting an animal. Why the fuck would you practice that? And I was like, oh my God.
I was about to say, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that.
Oh, because I learned marksmanship from the fucking Marine Corps, and so I can't get out.
I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just saying he said that because he's like, when's the last time you shot at a deer where you were like,
because I can get my brain to tell myself to chill the fuck out.
That's good. Then it works.
And so, so I'm just saying, the point is, when I'm target shooting in my backyard, I'm trying to get all the stuff right. So I was like, the fuck am I doing? When I shoot these things, I black out for half a second because I'm like, go! And so I was like, go! And I I totally shanked a shot. It hit the top of my target, not the it's the die thing. And I'm supposed to hit the fucking square facing me, and it went into the top. I was like, ooh.
When you did the fast one.
Yeah. So then I did 2 more fast ones and I got it better. But that first fast one, I felt the shank. I knew I shanked it. And I was like, I didn't even see where the arrow was. I was like, but I knew it hit the target, but where the fuck is it? And it wasn't until I got down there. My son's like, Dad, you hit the top. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Dane. I realize that now. But I thought that was like an interesting, I didn't hear that from anybody. Like, you should be practicing that way. But I thought to myself, I should probably practice this way. Practice the split second kind of approach.
I think that's a good thing to practice after you've practiced perfecting your release and your process and like having good.
I think I got some of that stuff down.
I think once you have that done and you've practiced, like I'm going to ask Scott because I want his opinion because he's doing it every day. But like when I'm practicing in the backyard now, it's August. It's almost deer season. Like I have like 2 things or 3 things that I'm like trying to do. And I try not to do them all at the same time because I'm really bad at I'm a good monotasker. So if I have like one thing to focus on in a shot, like I'm just worried about like one thing. So like when I draw back, right, I get everything settled. My whole thing is make sure I'm pulling back tension, pulling back. And then it's don't take your eye off the target till your arrow hits.
You've always told me pick your spot.
Follow through. Yeah, the follow through. You pick your spot on the target. Don't look at your pin. Just pick your spot on the target and don't move till after your arrow has already hit. Like that's what I always the follow through. Because as soon as I fuck up a shot, it's because I didn't follow through. Because I was like move my bow to look where my arrow was going to hit or something stupid like that. So like that's all I'm working on now.
I think I do the target pen thing where I like punch the trigger or something like that. Yeah. I think I've missed deer like that before. I think that's that. I mean, I got lucky with that guy over there.
What is your process, Scott? Like when you're shooting, what is in your brain? Do you have anything in your brain? You probably like shoot a lot and you probably don't have to think too much anymore. But like when you're hunting, like what is in your brain when you're shooting?
Just shoot and have fun.
God damn it. That must be nice.
What do you
Because as soon as you start getting frustrated with your archery skills, that's when you're gonna suck even worse.
How long before people get fatigued? Like my daughter's in gymnastics and she's obsessively practicing and she's trying to do this backflip thing on the bars. And we got bars at our house now, and she just keeps going and going and going and going and going. I'm like, dude, you need to take a fucking break and give your muscles a break. You're not going to do better. And she's like, no, I need to. And I'm the same way. So I'm like, I understand her mentality. But with my bow, I'll go to the archery shop. I'm going to shoot until I get it right. And then I'll get frustrated ish. And I'm going to keep going. But I'm like, but now I'm getting muscle fatigue. And it's like a hot barrel on a rifle. Like at some point, your shit's going to start not going great. You got to like take a second.
When you get fatigued, put it down and walk away. Because the more you shoot when you're fatigued, I mean, it's like doing push-ups. Yeah, you can probably still do a few more, but they're going to be shitty form. Same thing with a bow.
Yeah.
I mean, period. I mean, I get frustrated with a lot of. I shouldn't say I get frustrated. I disagree with a lot of people that target shoot and their whole mental ordeal. You know, some of them have a great mental game. Levi Morgan, you look at him, ain't nobody beating that guy's head game. Wait, that sounded bad. Ain't nobody beating that guy as far as a strong mental game goes. I mean, he's just a freaking machine. Him and Dan McCarthy. And the reason for that is because they're having fun. They're not thinking too much. But also, I know a lot of people are listening. They're going to say, well, they do it so much. It's automatic. Exactly. Get out there and practice more. It's going to be more automatic. I mean, during the fall season, I shoot anywhere from 100 to 200 arrows a day, especially when I'm getting ready for tag or if I'm getting ready for a big hunt. I mean, and it's not because I feel like I have to. It's because I enjoy shooting. I love it. That's why I have so many bows, and that's why most of them don't have a string that lasts a whole year because I shoot the piss out of them. And I mean, as far as my thought process, the whole thing, the whole time I'm going through the draw cycle, settling in, anchoring is I hope the wind doesn't blow too hard. That's my only thought process. It's just clear, aim, pull through the shot.
Yeah, when you get that good, it's called eudaimonia. Google it.
What? It's called what?
Eudaimonia. It's a philosophical term.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, it's like you get so good at something it feels like breathing. You can't tell a difference. It's just you've got it's a 10,000 hour rule bullshit.
No, it's like I tell everybody else, just get out there and shoot. It's just like anything else. I mean,
yeah, I don't have eudaimonia when it comes to shooting. I want to.
You can't. I believe in
podcasting. I think I got 20,000 hours in on this bitch.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, y'all seem to have this down, other than the whole volume thing we had going on earlier.
Except for the first 40 minutes, I'm trying to get it figured out.
My browser's like, no.
I just want everybody on this podcast to know, Eric thought it was my fault, and I restarted my computer 4 times, restarted the Wi-Fi, flipped the breakers in my house because he couldn't hear me, and the whole time it was the whole ordeal. You see how professional that box looks over there? That looks like a podcast center. This is my kitchen. This is where I'm at.
Did you think it was weird when Eric said spin clockwise, now spin once counterclockwise? Just to see if that could do it.
Fucking on your house.
That was hilarious. I'm like, God dang, I'm blowing it. And then he's like, oh shit, it's my fault. Something's on my end.
There's so many things for me to be checking over here.
So many. You got too much going on.
You do have a lot going on. I'll give you that.
Stupid. The whole we have an intern lined up, and I've done a poor job of bringing him in because I'm like, I don't know. Then I have to rewire shit. I have to put it over there. And what if you can't make it? Then I got to do it all over again. Like how it works now, I can push buttons and turn the camera angle. Now I can talk to this camera. Derek wants to talk. And to do this all live with the camera switchboard and shit, it's a whole different paradigm. If we were not live, every one of these cameras would be recording and you'd cut it in post. And that's what most people do. To do
I was wondering how the whole camera flipping thing is going on.
Most people.
No. So it's a whole. No.
Here's what Eric has done. He set it up in a way that's going to take him the least amount of time, so he can spend more time with his family when they get home because he is a good human being. before being a podcaster.
Because what I don't have to do is do any post-production bullshit.
Yes.
It's all produced
You
right
do
now.
it-
It's all done.
Yeah,
so
you
when
do
I'm
it for
done, I
your
just
family.
send it.
It's great.
It's done.
You're a good dad, Eric.
But it took a while, man. We started with one microphone and some bullshit recorder called Pamela that recorded Skype calls 10 years ago.
Pamela. Think I can help with the Pam.
I think I can help with the
Dilemma.
Pam dilemma. So Tony Mao asked a question. He said, "Is the weight aspect null if you're using a mechanical broadhead?" And I suspect he's asking that question because mechanical broadheads are alleged to have a more field tip flight pattern and not weigh as much. That's a very controversial topic, one that I don't give a shit about, other than I just don't want to rely on mechanics. So that's my own disposition.
Well, the way I look at it is, I'm assuming you've had a bad experience with a mechanical broadhead in the past.
No, but I've had bad experiences with automatic windows in cars. So like the manual ones are my favorite because they don't break. And so then I just take that logic to the arrows.
So to your point right there, because you had a bad experience with an automatic window, you didn't just bust out the window, say the hell with it. You tried a different window style.
Yeah.
Same concept with a mechanical broadhead. I that is such a controversial topic. Mechanicals fail. Well, so does our judicial system, but we still have it. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's one of the more deals. The analogy I like to use is if your car breaks down and you're just gonna walk to work every day, no, you're gonna buy a different car brand. Same thing with mechanical broadheads. If you have a crappy one, then try a different brand. Maybe you'll have some better luck. Because I promise you, when it comes to whitetail, I'm a big fan of a particular mechanical broadhead, possibly two, if I could ever get a hog to cooperate. I love my G5 Mega Meats. That's very well known. Had a lot of success with them. Shot a lot of animals long range. Like I say, the yardages, because I don't want to encourage that for some people. But I've had very good success with that particular broadhead. I tell you, the broadhead I get asked about the most here in recent weeks is the freaking Beast broadhead. God almighty.
Yeah, that has made quite an insurgence. That's
What is that?
our buddy Bomar's broadhead.
Oh, the bow.
Titanium, like shoots out at 7 million miles per hour. He's got there's a whole thing behind it. It's on every
All I know is he's got
broadhead
one of our
testing
grunt tubes.
YouTube channel.
Look at your screen, boys.
It's a big deal.
Look at that. What do you got there? That's it.
That's
Poof
it.
gone.
They are absolutely phenomenal so far. I will tell you that they are the strongest mechanical broadhead I've ever tested. I shot I don't know if you saw the video on TikTok and YouTube. I shot a cow hip bone with one, and I tried to break this broadhead. It did break a blade, but I was actually trying to cave in the whole ferrule. I failed. It did not.
Wow.
I was impressed.
There's been a lot of people who have been impressed with that broadhead.
Well, you know who I wouldn't want to go toe to toe with because I stood toe to toe with him in Iowa in our booth. He's a beast of a man.
So the Bomars went on some sort of big African safari. If you've not seen any of their YouTube
I
stuff,
haven't seen
and
much.
Josh has shot. I don't know how many videos they got up on the YouTube, but everything. He shot every animal in Africa, every single one. I mean, the biggest. He shot them all with that, and it's.
He reminds me of
He's-
Gaston
dude,
from
he's
Beauty and the
shooting-
Beast.
He's shooting antelope at like 110 yards, just smoking them. So it looks pretty good on the videos. He did a great job.
What's funny is the amount of footage he put up is not all of it. He sent me a couple videos of some footage that he couldn't put up. Oh my God, it was detrimental to any four-legged or even two-legged creature because he shot an ostrich too. It is just unbelievable. And I gotta give Josh props, and I don't say this very often. Sucker can shoot.
Oh yeah,
Well,
That
he's got a
sucker can flat out shoot.
he can shoot.
I'm sure he's got a lot of control. I mean, he's a pretty dude. Like, it takes a lot to be that fucking fit, disciplined, regimented. Like, you don't just wake up that fucking way. Anyone criticizing him has probably got a dad bod like me. Cooked him guy. That's probably a lot of jealousy. He was very cordial, nice when we saw him in Iowa. I had nothing bad to say about him. And we talked about the controversy that he brings to the table and how he's probably bad for the industry in some degree. And I wasn't sure if I'd want him on my podcast. I wasn't sure how that would go, because I'm too stupid to see the future and the implications of things like that. He bought a buck grunt tube from us. To this day, I don't know if he ever did a damn thing with it. Although Matt Strime made it with Weathered Oaks Custom Game Calls, and Matt Strime runs the Okayest Fisher podcast with Greg, and Matt's the fucking man. So it's a damn good call if he ever does use it. Nonetheless, I don't have anything particularly bad to say about the guy. And he's a fucking human being like the rest of us, trying to do what he does. And maybe because of his clout and all the numbers that he carries, he might be a target by some folks himself. That being said, he's not favored by the industry.
Well, and see, the argument there is, why does he have 1 million followers on YouTube if he's not favored? Why are people coming into my shop?
It's like driving past a car accident. You just got to slow down and look. But boy, oh boy, I don't want to be in that. Like,
Well,
that's what I think happens with his stuff. I mean, that's my personal opinion about why people, like, he burned his truck trying to fucking do a crop burn.
yeah, that one I'm with you. That one I don't get. I meant to ask him about that on our conversation. Yeah, that one didn't make sense to me.
He's got a lot of charisma, though. He's a likable guy. You watch him and you're like, it's nice enough, you know.
So I had an 1.5 hour long conversation with him about these broadheads before he sent them to me. And I even told him at the end of our conversation that he impressed me. One, with his enthusiasm, which I knew. I mean, you can tell from his videos. He's got a lot of energy. He is jacked up on pre-workout. Or jacked up on something. I don't know. I need some of it, whatever he's taking. But just the amount of knowledge that he had, and the insight he had on the background of these broadheads and what went into them, it impressed me. I mean, it wasn't just a sales pitch. It was
It's passion.
It was a lesson. It was this is what went into developing this product. Now let me tell you something. If you think he's got some energy in front of the camera, turn the camera off and get on a phone call. He doesn't even text. He sends voice recordings because he's got so much to say. It's not a haha okay. No, it's a 2.5 minute voice recording send. He cracks me up. So I feel like I got to match his energy. I had to figure out how to voice record and send on my phone.
Message received.
But there's definitely some controversy there. A lot of people kind of raised their eyebrow at me when I did that review. They're like, "Oh yeah, you a Bomar guy?" I'm like, "I'm a play with anything you send me kind of guy."
So are you going to use those going into season this year, I'd imagine?
100%. If I could get a hog to stand still long enough, I would have already shot one with him. But I got this terrible habit of killing every hog I find, and it's gotten kind of hard to find them on my side of the county. And it's a terrible tragedy. It's like I'm leprosy for a hog. They just all die as soon as I look at them. So, in fact, I actually put something out. I didn't put something out. I mentioned something on my TikTok earlier, or TikTok Live. Like, hey, if you're in Northeast Georgia, got some hogs, and you're not weird, and you actually have permission on that property, let me know.
You're not weird. They're going to be weird.
You're probably right. I did get one message on Instagram. So
call Jared, drive to Arkansas. He'll fucking let you kill some hogs out there, I'm sure. And Pine Bluff.
I still can't. When he said Pine Bluff, I lost it in my head. Oh my god, dude!
That's great. Jared's he's a tough MFer, that's for sure.
You got to be if you're in Pine Bluff.
Shit. No, this is good. This is a good chat. So, you talked about the archery shop, the website, where to find y'all. I don't know. What are we missing, man? What else do you want to cover? Anything else before we bring the plane down for a landing here?
What you got, Derek?
Derek?
What do I got? Oh, man. What do I got?
Oh, y'all are winding down. I can tell y'all. Yeah, y'all both married. Yeah, y'all slowing down on me.
He's got to drive. Derek's got to drive an hour home from this, and I got to produce for an hour.
You ain't got a cot that Derek can sleep on or something?
I got the kids in the morning. The wife works. I'm a teacher. I'm off, so I'm on babysitter duty.
Oh, Lord. What do you teach, Derek?
Drawing, painting, photography.
Makes sense.
At a high school.
At a high school? Oh, art class.
Yep.
Just say art class.
Yeah, we don't call it art class because I don't do popsicle shit and crafts. And
it's fine arts.
Oh, yeah. I struck a nerve there. We don't play with Elmer's glue.
Nah, we don't.
I love it. I need to take me a photography class for this camera that's smarter than me.
You get that Sony A7, man. That thing's no joke. That's a nice camera.
Well,
Good for video. Great for video, right? Like that's what
We
they're
shoot
made
one of
for.
those. We just have one of those laying around the office that we just use from time to time. I got the A6 that's what you see right here, and then these are the Sony EVZ10s. What the fuck are they called? Something like that. And then we got the GoPro up top here, the GoPro. So we got
I
three
said this was a
cameras.
workhorse of a camera for filming outside, or anything in the hunting industry, pretty much filming your hunts and stuff. Which that's actually why I spent the money and bought this, is for my YouTube channel, since I finally kind of fired it up.
What's the YouTube channel?
It's Bow Boy.
Bow Boy. Is that so? Wait, what is your Instagram then?
It's Bow Boy.
But the TikTok is Bow Talk.
Yeah. So funny story about that. That was an accident.
Go on.
That was supposed to be a joke, and 100-something thousand followers later, it's a little late to change it.
Yeah, I know you gotta kind of keep it.
I thought, hey, Bow Talks. Somebody might get a laugh out of it. And then videos started going viral. I'm like, oh shit, why didn't I come up with a better name?
Damn it.
No,
Yeah.
that's great.
It's only the videos that go viral for us, the ones that we don't care about. Like the one where the chick farts in the car and it hits 30 million people. I'm like, why the fuck was that what went viral?
That's what you're known for.
Just the weird shit.
I haven't seen that video, I don't think, but I'm gonna go look for it now.
Pretty weird. It's like like a lot of the content that comes from us comes from the toilet. And it was one of those, like, my wife's like, what are you doing? Are you still in there? I'm like, fuck, post. I gotta post something. Okay, send it. Put my phone down, wipe my ass, get out. And next thing you know, 30 million fucking views later.
I was actually thinking about that earlier while I was on the toilet. I thought, I wonder how many people actually watch, like, and comment my stuff in the prone position.
All of them.
80%.
For sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure I watched your video last night as well. Then I also proceeded to send it to Derek while also on the toilet.
But I watched the first couple of his on the toilet also.
Yeah. It's a lot of toilet time for us. Like, for us, we can't get away from our children. Like, I can't take a poop in this house. I gotta lock the door. It's Daddy.
Oh, my kids all know how to get
I'm
in the
like,
locked doors.
just let me take a shit. Like, I just need to give me a minute, okay?
Can I wipe my ass in peace?
The number of times I've sat down to take a shit and I gotta get kicked out of my own bathroom because we're potty training a 2-year-old. He's like, I gotta pee right now. I'm like, fuck.
There's the bathtub, son.
Gotta plug it.
Hold my pants and let him do his thing. I'm like, all right, buddy, let her rip. Get the fuck out of here. I gotta poop.
So if I ever have kids, make sure there's at least 2 toilets in the house. Got it.
Yeah, dude, you can't live a life with one toilet when you got a family. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna poop their pants down both legs.
Yeah, that's why I'm sticking with my 1 dog and 2 cats. And that's about it. And they're outdoor cats. And I swear to God, one of them thinks they're a dog.
That's what every cat owner says. We got one of those too here. His name's
You got a cat that pants?
Yeah, he won't eat. He's never eaten a cat treat, a wet canned food, any human food. He's a Maine Coon. He only eats his fucking dry food. He drinks from a faucet only. And he has to be invited onto the fucking bed. And if you don't invite him onto the bed, he doesn't shut the fuck up for hours on end.
You let your cat inside the house?
Oh, dude. And now he's an outside cat, kind of.
I was about to say, no cats inside this house, but I feed my dog outside too. He's allowed inside, but when I let him out in the morning, him and the cat are sitting at the dog bowl, and the cat's waiting for the dog food too. They eat it at the bowl.
That's great. No, I think this is a fun episode, man. It's good to talk to you. We'll have to do some more, and if you're ever up this way, you're welcome in the studio anytime.
Appreciate y'all having me on. It's been fun. It's been probably the funnest podcast I've been on so far.
Well, you've only been on the one other one, so.
Hey, we're batting 100.
But you should probably guest on the Southern U. You could guest on the Boyer podcast and talk about how trad bows are difficult and all that. We got like I said, a whole bunch of them. So you're welcome to.
Y'all got like more podcasts than just this one. Is what you're saying, right?
That's right. Yep.
Why? God dang, that's a lot to keep up with.
People just keep asking us to join our ranks, and I don't have the heart to say no.
Thanks. Well, sure. I guess I'll. I'll go on that.
You got the Up Duck podcast. That's a good one. Derek's got a podcast on network called Dropping Pins.
Dropping Pins.
Got a whole
What?
bunch.
Dropping Pins.
So do y'all like change rooms for each podcast or what?
Everyone's from different places, man. We got guys in Idaho and
Oh,
where
I
we are in
got you.
the South. Everyone's got their own shit going on. But we just help them manage the whole shebang from soup to nut. It's a
That's
good time.
awesome, man. Oh, let me ask you something, Eric. Are you gonna make it to ATA this year or no?
Nope, I'm not interested in ATA. I think they treat their media not great, and I'm not going to exhibit there. It's super fucking expensive to go as media.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So we did SHOT Show last year because they introduced their archery wing arm forum, whatever the fuck they called it, and they're trying to take a bite out of the ATA. And most people that are ATA also go to SHOT. So they
Right.
stand up a booth at ATA, then they turn around, tear it down, and go right to fucking Vegas for SHOT. And
Yeah.
then there's so many more other brands and people at SHOT. And I was like, let's just go there. Like ATA has been fun. I've done it several times, and I've enjoyed it. I got to interview Michael Waddell there, and that was one of the bigger highlights of doing all this shit. It was really cool. But SHOT Show is super productive for us, and so now we're kind of like, we probably should just continue to do that. And I can only get away with so much travel with I got a wife and 3 kids, and this is
Yeah,
nice.
I get that 100%. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. So last year, I don't know if I told y'all or not, that was the first time I've been to ATA in 7 years. Um, Mainly because didn't really see necessarily a need to. Um, but I did have a good time last year. I didn't write a whole lot of orders, but there was a few, things I saw. I was like, oh, hey, need that. But other than that, it's just kind of seeing everybody, keeping
Yeah, it's
that
just fun to
relationship going.
connect. It's like you're meeting up with all your pen pals.
Yeah,
And
yeah, essentially, yeah, you're 100% correct.
yeah. And so I like that aspect. That part's great, and I'll miss. But most of those people also like I'll see them at SHOT anyways. And some like come to SHOT. Yeah, I'm going to ATA and SHOT. Okay, well I'll see you at SHOT because I'm not going to ATA.
Yeah,
But ATA's it's different for you because you're signing orders, and I know that's kind of like gone the way of the dodo bird because a lot of that shit's already locked and stocked and loaded by the time ATA even comes around. So ATA served a very different purpose 10 years ago.
yeah.
The world has changed, and I don't know that they've done a great job keeping up with that pace.
Well, it's not necessarily ATA's fault, as far as I mean, they can't control when a manufacturer drops a product. Once upon a time, ATA is where everybody dropped product or new
Correct.
product.
And
And
that's still ish happens.
there was two products that I didn't know about that dropped at ATA. The when I got there, the Spa Hog Boonie and the new 10-point TRX 440 and TRX 515. Those were the only two new ones that I shouldn't say it's the only two new ones I knew about, but those are the only two new ones that I was like, oh, hey, need that. I mean, other than that, it's like, oh, already ordered that, saw that
That's
coming.
what I mean. Exactly. You kind of and it's because like, dude, hunting is super seasonal. Like, you can't it's really hard to bring that revenue forward and flatten that curve. And
Mhm.
like supply chain cycles, it's really hard when you launch a product in January and you expect to have it. You need to be almost a year ahead of it to like ensure that you're
Actually
not
have it?
bringing product to market on fucking September 1st when people needed it in July to prep and get ready and yada yada yada. And then inevitably with the supply chain, COVID fucked up a lot of stuff. But something isn't going to go right. The ship's going to get stuck in a canal. Some sort of tariffs. It's like something's going to happen, and your shit's
Yep.
going to get stuck at the dock for whatever damn reason. And the date that you were set to launch shit is now going to get punted and moved, and the can's going to continue to get kicked, and then you're about to piss customers off. So if you can like change your supply chain to not mimic the ATA world of January, whatever it is,
It's probably better.
you're probably in a better
Sounds
spot.
like Eric's got a personal vendetta with the ATA. I like it. We might have found
It's
something
not
here.
even, dude. I fucking loved ATA. I love it. Like when my first time going to ATA was when I was doing Where to Hunt, and I had an app, and that's all I had. And I had the podcast where it was pretty new, and I got invited to go with some folks. And this would have been 2015, 16, somewhere in there, I think. And I remember going, and I was pretty young still. I wasn't married yet, or maybe we were just married or soon to be, living apart with my fiance. And I remember telling her, I want to do this. Like it felt really special. Like I was like, no one. I've been in the B2B world where I had to wear fucking suits and fancy shoes and and ties and all that shit. And I went there and I was like, it's a fucking country concert. People are drinking. Everyone's wearing cowboy boots and jeans, and deals are being done with handshakes. And I was like, this is the shit. Now I'm of the industry, and it's 10 years later, right? 2014, 2015, it's almost 10 years later. It's totally, I have a very different perception. The world has changed. So I don't know. Going there as someone who wasn't of the industry, who was starstruck by everything that was happening, I loved it. But I'm also like trying to recognize that when I went the last time I went 2 years ago, I just fucking hung with all my pals, man. It was great. Like Dan Matthews and I are giving each other weird gay bro hugs, and I'm hanging out with my buddies Glenn and Josh, and everyone's having a good time. Like, it was super fun. I was also the pansy ass. I went to bed really early and called my wife on the walk home from the show to the hotel, and everyone was like, "We're going to the strip club." I'm like, I'm not going to the strip club.
He's like, I'm not. I want to be able to go home.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm going to talk to my kids on FaceTime. So
things change. Yeah. Things change.
Yeah.
Well, boys, if y'all ever find your way down south, y'all got a place to stay. We'll put you up at the cabin, shoot some targets, maybe put you on a nanny doe because our deer suck this year, or at least mine do.
Yeah, we get a lot of invites from doing this kind of stuff. So at some point we'll start.
Oh, okay. Well, I ain't gonna. All right, don't worry about it then. Screw y'all.
Oh, well, but so that's how we got to the Oregon thing. We got invited, and we don't take our lives are just such a shit show.
I didn't expect you to accept the invitation. I was just
we might. We're getting to the point where I think
very
we
nice of you to offer.
Yeah, like what I'm getting at, by the way, Scott, not with all the expertise, is I think there's a future where that's possible.
And I hope so, because that's kind of what I'm setting this place up for. Is I know you can't see it obviously because I'm in my kitchen, but I'm in about a 30-year-old Hearthstone cabin that's 3 stories in the middle of a cornfield where you can't see the road, and it's nothing but farmland and 3D targets, and that's my home. This is where I live.
Yeah, I see your videos. And I'm like, this guy's living my fucking dream life. Like,
well,
short of the fact that I'm not technical enough to work in an archery shop, but
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That'd be a cool video. The Okayest boys come up to learn how to tie
a fucking bow, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You're just done.
I think you just set it up. See what happens.
Like springs flying.
I'd watch that video. That'd be fun.
Oh,
our local archer here that we thoroughly enjoy is called Whale Tails. Whale Tails, plural.
Whale Tails.
They're in Dousman, Wisconsin. Good dudes. But I walked in there, and there's a video of me getting my new bear bow tuned up, and I was like, "Here, guys, I don't know what to do with this. Just do what you do, and tell me what to do. I'll just shoot it, and once it hits a target, I'll be happy. That's about it for me. I don't put too much stake in all the technical stuff. I never have, and I probably never will. That's just me.
That's okay.
Greg and Derek are different. Everyone different strokes for different folks.
We're in 3.
Greg is camps. Yeah.
Greg's somewhere up there.
I just noticed this about Derek. Derek, you got an Indian bracelet around your arm?
Is that what you call it?
I don't know. I can't tell. It looks pretty gangster, whatever it is. They had deer tracks on it?
No, it should get some though. I gotta get it updated. There's some just some lines around for my family and pretty important GPS, longitude, latitude, and some initials for the family.
Oh, you got some pin drops on that thing?
Dropping pins. This is actually a pin. You plug that in, you're gonna get the pin to Townsend, Wisconsin, to the cabin that my dad built. That my great grandpa
No kidding
gave the land to us. Yeah, my son's named after great grandpa Gus.
I'm not a tattoo guru, but that's pretty cool right there. I like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Very cryptic.
I gotta get one for the daughter though. She doesn't have one yet.
You better catch up.
Yeah, making sure she made it. She's
baptized
5
yet?
now.
She baptized yet? We're missing that train. Right
hey,
now.
if you'd been at ATA this year or this past year, Badlands was giving away free Badlands tattoos in their booths.
Really?
That's a thing we've heard. I've in the PR realm. There's some other brands doing the whole tattoos at the things and doing the stuff. I actually want to get tattoos on my wrist. 2 of them. Talked about this, and I called a tattoo place local here in town. They never called me back. And I was going to do it that day if they would have taken me. So I'm like, God dang
Up
it.
yours.
I just want to get it done. So not yet. I don't know. And then we're gonna get the Okayest antler tattoo at deer camp. All my buddies. Like there's like 8 of us.
That's awesome.
There's in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. Sounds like it'd be a really trashy fucking place.
They charge you a lot for a 10-point, but for a 4-horn, they're pretty cheap.
It's a pretty little tattoo. I think it would be very
affordable. What? We'll do like $45 for that.
Yeah. We'll do that for free. We feel bad for you guys.
Like one guy actually on TikTok got our antler logo tattooed on his wrist.
Really?
Yeah, send me a picture. It's a fucking thing. He's got a lot of tattoos, but he's got the antler right on his wrist.
I will say, I don't know what it is about that logo, but I like it. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's I know. I don't know why, but I like it. Like that on a hat, shirt, I would wear that. I don't know why.
Look at Scott. He's got a 95-inch 5-point shed antler. And he's like, yeah, I'd wear that 4-inch antler.
Well, then we gotta.
That's more realistic. This is a dream.
So I always say we're not aspirational. We're realistic. We live in reality at Okayest Hunter. Like, yes, we want the big deer, but that's aspirational, and I got to take what I can get when I got 3 kids and a wife and a day job and a side hustle on top of a side hustle on top of a side hustle. So
yeah,
fuck my life.
We did have a pretty good year 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago was a great year. Yeah.
It's hard to do that every year, though. Hashtag Lee and Tiffany.
Yeah.
Well, our camera guy films for Lee and Tiffany.
Oh, bet that's cheap.
Keegan Kettle, he's a damn good fucking dude.
He's everywhere, dude.
He's a great dude, but he films for them. He really enjoys it. He does a good job.
Because it's a target-rich environment. Lots to film.
I remember, and he'll get me shit if he hears this. I was like, I know this will make its way to film. I think I'm waiting to see that episode from our producer, but he was like, Eric, this isn't where deer are. I was like, yes, it is. I know you don't fucking trust me because I'm the Okayest hunter, but I'm telling you, this is the shit. It's not huntable. We're gonna keep going. He's like, how long are we gonna go before you like? This isn't what you need to go to the hardwoods. I'm like, you fucking film for Lee and Tiffany. Of course, that's where you think where deer are. I want to hear it.
I actually got a funny story. I know y'all trying to get off here, but I got a funny story about Lee and Tiffany. Keep in mind while I'm telling you this story, I've never been really kind of like the starstruck kind of person. Never like been a fanboy of anybody. I think it was my second year at ATA. My old man was still up in the hotel room showering or doing something. I went down to the actual convention center to get a breakfast burrito because I scouted those out the day before and they looked freaking fantastic.
Smart.
I went down there, got one right outside the convention, right where the doors are open, where people are going in and out. I'm sitting on the steps where nobody's going up and down, eating that burrito, just pounding it. And out of the left-hand corner of my eye, coming into the convention center, the first set of doors before they get into the actual show itself, notice this beautiful couple. This, tall, dark-headed fella, muscular, this beautiful blonde girl. They both had Miss Me jeans on, just beautiful couple. And she starts waving at me, just walking and waving at me. And I got a mouthful of burrito. I turn around, look up the steps to see who she's waving at. And I look like a chipmunk on this side, a burrito in this hand. And I'm just like, hi. And she goes, that looks really good. And I'm weirded out at this point. I'm like, your husband's right there. Who? And I even asked her, I said, do I know you? And they both just kind of put their heads down and kept on walking. I'm like, that's weird. I kept eating my burrito. Later on, I go by the QAD booth, and there's their faces plastered on a 20-foot fucking wall. I'm like, oh, you stupid idiot. Fucking Tiffany. Fucking Tiff, you about met Tiffany over a breakfast burrito and you blew it.
Dude, there's
you had a mouthful.
Oh, bacon, egg, and sausage cheese burrito too. I remember it was great.
Don't ask me what book it was because I've read too many of the Stoicism books that exist. But one of them was like, whatever emperor it was walking the streets of Rome, and this is like a lesson in ego. So it's probably ego's the enemy. You might actually hear this line if you're reading the book, Derek. Mm-hmm. But this emperor goes up to this slave or this peasant that's just kind of sitting on the ground. He's like, look, I can do anything for you. What would you like today? It's good to meet you and meet your acquaintance. Like, what would you like? He's like, we're kind of standing in the sun right now. Like, you could just move. It's like, do you know who I am? I don't know who you are, but you're blocking the sun. Like, what a fucking shot to the ego to not recognize someone for their fame, you know?
Scurry along.
Fucking love that shit. I'm not starstruck by anybody unless it's Natalie Portman or Gary Vee, apparently. That
Yes,
got
I
me
don't
going.
know who either one of those people are.
Or, well, yeah, there's a few Hollywood chicks that I'd probably have a hard time if I met, that I'd be like, hi. Any other human I don't give a fuck about.
So do you remember at Iowa Deer Classic when Bomar came through? He was talking to Tim Sylvia,
Yeah.
who's a UFC champ. He's like 7 feet 900 inches tall, gigantic man, and he's big into hunting. He's got the farm in Iowa and whatever. And so I was talking to him for a little while about hunting stuff, and at some point it came up because I'm not a tall guy and he's a ginormous, and he's like, "Man, I took shits bigger than you," and I was just like, "Yeah."
Thanks.
That's what happens when you meet the celebs.
Jesus. I tell you, the one guy that I thought I was going to have a hard time being around ended up just being an absolute thrill. And you hear mixed emotions about this guy, too. 'Cause he got a little bit of an ego, but I love him to death. Brian Quaka, the pig man.
Oh, I've heard about the
Pigman.
Pigman. He's from Wisconsin, isn't he?
Not even
I
close.
don't think so.
What
I think
the
he's from
Not even close.
Oh, okay.
No, he's
Pigman.
he currently lives in Oklahoma. That's where he resides now. But I got to go turkey hunt with him this past fall. Got to meet him and Screaming Bird, his buddy. And let me tell you something. God Almighty, that guy right there. I don't know that he ever slept during the trip, and he definitely didn't shut up. And there's some stories I'll have to tell you off recording that are pretty funny about him. And I mean, just a great guy. Just very. You talk about passionate about the outdoors. That's a term that gets overused in this industry. I'm passionate. I'm passionate. Nah, shut the hell up. You posted like 4 Instagram reels. That's it. That's all you did.
Purpose will eat passion for lunch any day of the week.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Well, good shit, man. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And well, I'm gonna be up late tonight fucking with all this. So everybody that listened, thank you. And we'll I don't think we have a guest lined up for the next couple weeks. So hopefully Greg's back in town at some point and can help pick us up.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. Greg, you traveling man. Scott, thanks for hanging out with us, bud. Yeah, we're gonna live broadcast and that's it.
Yeah, good to meet you, Scott. Have a good night.
Appreciate y'all having me, fellas. Thank you again.
You betcha.